Fans, welcome to another week of Linton Minor football alongside Dan Phillips. I'm Darren Clayton. Tonight we're coming to you from Roy Williams Field in Linton, where the Miners will host the North Vermillion Falcons for the Class 1A South Semi-State Championship. And Dan, if you get right down to it, I know these two teams played in week 4, but this has been a game that people have been waiting for 53 weeks when you get right down to it.
You couldn't have nailed it on the head more. I mean, it's just restricting it to this season. These are the two teams everybody expected to get here. Had a tough game with West Washington last week. They had a tough game with Lutheran, a dog fight, and I think both teams are vastly improved from what they were in week 4. It's everything you could want in a semi-state contest in the 1A South, and of course for the Miners and Miner fans, it's everything you could want. You get to play a team at home, and the weather has turned out great, and it's just a great night for football in November.
Absolutely. Both teams enter with a record of 12 wins and 1 loss. The loss for the Miners coming on a forfeit back in week 6 after they defeated North Davies 45-0 in their homecoming game, while the loss for the Falcons came back in week 4 when they lost to the Miners by the score of 21-7. And you know, Dan, this North Vermillion team, they are the defending state champs. They are the ones that eliminated the Miners last year. Of course, it was in the regional. Got the realignment, and, the rematch comes here in the semi-state. And this Falcon team comes in here very talented, and I think you have to start with their running back, Jacob Earl.
Yeah, there's no way to ignore the fact that, I think going to South Putnam a couple of weeks ago, some people thought, hey, South Putnam, but they've been doubted. Let's just get right to it. There's been people who thought, well, maybe since Linton beat them, they aren't all that. They beat a South Putnam team that a lot of people were thinking, hey, this could be a pretty tough team. And then Indy Lutheran, they play a brutal schedule, and they got off to a big lead, and these guys fought through 4 quarters and got back. Of course, we always talk about their running back. That's Jacob Earl. He's a singer. He's got over 1,700 yards rushing. I believe something like 38 rushing touchdowns. Checking my massive styles right here. 36. I was wrong on that, but 36 rushing touchdowns, Darren. But we can't just think about Jacob Earl. We got to think about quarterback Cody Wright. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards. He's passed for over 2,000 yards. This is not a one-trick pony, and I think that, I'm sure our coaches know that as well, but they've got quite a variety of receivers that can catch the ball. Vaughn Depew as one of the guys we'll be talking about, but gosh, they're an awfully good football team, and they've only gotten better since we saw them. In fact, I think losing to us lit a fire underneath them, and I think they have been waiting all year to get to this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said earlier, it's everything you could ask for in a game. I mean, both teams almost have revenge on their mind.
Yeah.
I mean, this, North Vermillion revenge for the Miners beating them in week 4. The Miners for North Vermillion putting them out of this tournament last year. And, there's such a great deal of respect between the two programs has been gained over the last couple of years since we've played them in the tournament, since we added them in the regular season. Their coach and our coach are familiar with each other, and it's just really, I'm expecting a great football game.
I am too. I mean, I hope it's a great contest. Of course, I'm not going to complain if the Miners jump out ahead 38-0 by the half, but it just realistically isn't going to be that way. The big question among football fans really is, could it possibly be that low of a scoring contest the second time around? Nobody would have thought it the first time around. It was 7-0 at halftime. And for those who weren't there or maybe just tuning into the contest, I mean, a 21-7 score is misleading. It was genuinely 7-7 in that third quarter, and Pierce Jackson catches that pass over the middle to put us ahead 14-7, and that was midway, I think, in the fourth quarter. I don't think it was. I mean, it was up to a 4th down and 4 keeper by Tyler Muir that really solidified that game, and then he ran for that long touchdown run.
Well, it's been a great season for the Miners. They've been fun to watch. We have seen along the way, the penalties, the turnovers at untimely times, and hopefully they got all that stuff out of their system tonight.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I'm hoping that the game that had that was last week. We had a couple of penalties, and we talked about them on the air. We weren't. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the replay of it, but they're sure as heck they were legitimate penalties. So if there's one lesson I learned, is okay, maybe we don't have all the eyes, but they were mistakes by the Miners. And all night long against West Washington, we kept saying the only thing stopping the Miner offense is the Miner offense. The fumble was not produced by a hit. The interception was really a good play by their cornerback. But if Tyler throws that a little bit further, I think Clothier snags that in. So defensively, we were tested last week. West Washington's running back McFeeters put up 125 in that first half. We were both kind of like, uh-oh, this is going to be a nightmare, and they made adjustments in the second half. Jacob Earl, a different beast, just a different beast. He's not going to be north or south, although as compact as he is, I don't know if you want to hit him head-on one-on-one, but he swivels, he turns. We did an outstanding job on him the first time around. We can only be so lucky to keep him from having a big burst in this second rematch.
Well, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Baszler's Market in Linton, featuring great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners. Pregame also brought to you in part by Linton Family Pharmacy, now offering several kinds of vaccinations. Call to learn more. Linton Pharmacy, a proud Miner supporter. See them at lintonrx.com. The Miners making their way to the locker room one last time here before this game gets kicked off. Still about 22 minutes away, and starting to see that old crowd here tonight, Dan.
Yeah.
I really like that. Throughout the course of the regular season, even early in the playoffs, the number of people here at Roy Williams Field was down a little bit, but tonight the track's open, the south end zone starting to fill up. I think there's some people down in the north end zone as well.
They're not little kids down there. Normally you got a whole bunch of
down there playing cup ball.
Yeah, youthers down there playing, and it's a shame that we haven't had the turnout this season. And I know the talk is, why you want to see a 57-74 blowout. That's an easy answer to me. You're getting to see people like Tyler Muir and Mitch Eberhardt and Dylan Morris. Some of these guys are singers. We are not going to see the likes of some of these guys again. They should always come out and support it. We saw a glimpse of it last week at West Washington. Great road trip by the Miner fans, and that they needed it. And we both commented how in the game you saw the players raising their hands up at the Bizarre. The coaches talked about it after the game. Well, you can feel it down there, Darren. I know you were down there too, and you're seeing a lot of old-time Miners in the one end zone. A lot of people coming in. Pressure. I don't know that the kids feel the pressure as much as me and you feel the pressure.
It could be. I've been pretty excited all day, and as alums for both of us, and of course I still work here and see these kids every day at school, and wish them nothing but the best tonight. And it's definitely been a day trying to get ready for this. Trying to keep the kids. Didn't get a whole lot done today.
I was going to say, did you do some testing today?
Would not do that to them.
Oh, now somebody had a quiz today or somewhere. I can guarantee you.
Oh, let's talk a little bit about the Miners. We spent some time talking about North Vermillion. The Miners, of course, they attack with the four-headed monster. Who are you going to take away? That's the question North Vermillion has to ask themselves. And I think if you look back in Week 4, North Vermillion kind of took away the outside running game, and it was Tyler Muir that had the big night, keeping it, taking it up the middle. What are you expecting tonight? What kind of adjustments?
I know that the coaches are talking about that. We've got to establish the line of scrimmage. We've got to be very physical. And it wouldn't surprise me that we don't try to right off the bat come right back where we were before to see if they've made any adjustments. They have obviously made adjustments. I know some talking to the coaches that we've done some different blocking schemes this week. I know there's some different assignments. Now, that could be a little spooky if you change things up. Now, Coach Oliver tells me in the pregame interview, which you'll hear, they didn't really do anything any differently. But I know from talking that we've changed a couple things up to try to stop the flow of their linebackers. Both Weir and Bukas, they were stellar in that first matchup. They're really good at reading and getting into the backfield, and we saw that all night. We're unable to get anything going. Tyler Muir ends up with 175 yards, but these are four-headed monster-like numbers. 7 carries for 12 yards for Eberhardt, 4 carries for 10 yards for Mason. Jackson had a couple big, hard physical runs, and we didn't do anything hardly at all passing the ball in that first time around. So, we got to try to get to the outside. That's our bread and butter, Darren. You know it last week, 173 yards from Pierce Jackson. 173 yards last week was the biggest performance of the year. 3 games in a row now, we've had 2 100-yard rushers, over 400 yards of rushing in the last 4 games. We've got to be able to run the ball. If we can run the ball, I think we're in good shape.
Well, the Miner defense, of course, last week you mentioned McFeeters getting all those yards, but, man, what a workhorse. And I thought as the week went on and I look back at that game, a lot of people want to say, well, if McFeeters wouldn't have hyperextended his knee, he'd have ran for a lot of yards. But I don't think I'd ever seen somebody used as much in the first half as what he was used last week. 24 or 26 carries by halftime, and that's typically what you see a kid get for a whole game. I mean, we've seen kids rush, 30, 32 times even, but never 24 or 26 times in the first half alone. And to think that he was going to be able to sustain that, I just don't know if
Yeah, a lot was made about the fact that he got hurt there in the first, and it wasn't I know it affects the planning, and I know that, and like you say, he had 40 carries by my book. He only had 20-some yards in the second half, but I also saw that guys like Chance Howard were able to get in the backfield with their quickness and made hits 2 yards in the backward. Dylan Morris all of a sudden lit up, started doing it. I think it's a combination of that, but I think the big thing was the Miner defense made some changes and physically got stronger as the game went on and made the plays. And then once we got up by a couple scores, it took them a little out of their game plan. And super kudos to that defensive backcourt. I don't know how many times we called Keaton Cox. and Trey Passant. I mean, and we're going to see a lot of that tonight, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. I think, another key tonight is going to be getting pressure on the quarterback. Got to get back there and get in Cody Wright's face and make him throw that ball quicker, and hopefully that they can get that pressure. We've seen it at times this year against passing teams when we made that adjustment and where it was able to stop drives.
Well, we had 4 sacks on Cody Wright in the first meeting for 33 yards. And the thing that I remember the most is he would take the snap and be ready to fire. I mean, he was ball up, ready to make and had to stop. So that tells me we had coverage, and he was a smart quarterback. He only has 3 interceptions this year, too. So I think that the fact that our DBs and linebackers did a great job in coverage, but that allowed our pressure to get in there and make the hit. You were right. We've got to be able to get to Cody Wright, but watch those dump passes to Jacob Earl out of the backfield. Watch that kind of stuff, because getting him in the open field is key for North Vermillion.
Tonight's pregame show brought to you by Sullivan Automotive Group, with 7 franchises under one roof. Highway 41 in Sullivan, home of the 6 days a week service department. Also brought to you in part by Eugene Martin, public accountant in Linton. Gene says, best of luck, Miners. We're backing you as always. Well, Dan had a chance to talk to both coaches, and I'm sure they'd much rather hear them talk than they would me talk. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take a 60-second break, come back with the first coaches interview. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
We talked in week 4. I think everybody in the whole part of Southern Indiana has predicted it. Here we are, not regional, semi-state action. Your team has been playing extremely well. What did you learn from week 4 that you're going to try to accomplish better besides getting a W tonight with the Miners?
We got outplayed the first time, and that doesn't happen very often with us. But Linton brought it in, and we did not. And it's a credit to Linton, credit the job that they do in their kids. So we got to play with a lot better effort this time around for 4 quarters.
That was the night that Corey Davis didn't play, and at the time you thought, hey, this kid's going to be back in a couple of weeks. I think not much has been said about it, but that was the first night you had to go without him. Now you've got guys who've played, Stevens, number 80, maybe one of these guys who've now had several games. Heck, it was 9 weeks ago when we played. Who's stepping up for you in this latter part of the season?
Well, the offensive line has gotten better. They've played some of their best football the last 2 weeks. But on the perimeter, Vaughn Depew moved to Corey's spot, and he's figured it out. He had kind of a rough start, but he's a lot better at it now than when he first went there. So we'd like to think we'll be better on the edge tonight.
Well, you were able to shut down the Miners on the outside game. That was clearly one of the things the Miners really is the weakest performance we had all season was against the Falcons. Attempts to you guys out. Cody Wright, he's been a threat running the ball, but also passing the ball 2,000 yards. Me thinks maybe we're going to be a little bit more passing tonight from the Falcons.
We'll see. The game plan is what it is. You always want to be balanced. So whether that balance is throwing the ball more or running the ball more, you have to be able to do both when you need to do either one. And so we'll see.
How fired up is Jacob Earl? Obviously, we held him pretty good in check on that week 4. He can't have liked that. I know he and the offensive line both have to be pretty pumped to come out tonight and establish the run.
Well, much like the offensive line, it's not a coincidence Jacob's played some of his best football the last 2 weeks. And, Jacob is a fiery competitor. And I know that he probably took that a little personally in week 4, probably feeling like he didn't play his best.
You played at tough Indianapolis Lutheran team last week, a high-scoring affair. Got to feel good about your team going the 4 quarters distance. You know, conditioning plays a major role in it. You guys take that pretty seriously.
Yeah, we do, and you know, we gear things in our practices to get our guys in good shape. But, you know, I'll say this. I don't think this team, if we played that game before we played Linton, I don't know if they would have gone 4 quarters, because we learned a lot about ourselves when Linton owned us in the second half. And, you know, it's one of those cases where that's why you schedule a game like that, because you get exposed. And what our guys have done is they've taken that seriously and worked hard to address that.
Defensively, one of your key players, obviously inside backer Evan Weir, just a junior. You got to like that. And I think it's Bukas. You moved him into linebacker also. Those 2 guys have been killer. Tell me more about what your defense does.
Well, Evan is great at you know, reading keys. He's in the backfield a lot of times pretty quick after the ball snapped, because he's great at focusing and reading keys. Drew, I never planned on him playing that position this year, and he stepped in for Corey Davis, and you know, Corey was a great player for us, but Drew has really stepped things up and cushioned that blow of losing Corey a little bit.
Coach, tell me what a semi-state means to the community of Cayuga and all of it surrounding there. You've been there before. Last year you were there. Now, of course, you've got the state experience. How big is this going to be?
Oh, it's big. It's big, you know. Just for everybody to get to spend another week together, you know, and not have to shut it down beforehand. That's probably the biggest thing. But, you know, it's tough to say. I was reading on the Gridiron Digest today. No, there's a really great post about what's bigger. Is it bigger to win semi-state or the atmosphere at the state finals? I'll tell you what, man, it's huge just to get over the hump. As you know,
you're preaching to the choir.
It's huge to get over that hump, and it's a special thing.
Coach, the last thing, and then I'll let you go. Roy Williams Field, you haven't been back here since the days of the North Central Thunderbirds, and always a little outmanned at North Central. It'd be pretty pleasing for you to come to Linton and to win this game at Roy Williams.
It would do my heart good as a former North Davies Cougar. You know, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for the coaching staff here at Linton and Brian and their guys and the way they do things. So it's a friendly rivalry. But no, I would love to come out here and win, and we have been looking forward to this night.
Sure.
Just the atmosphere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who play high school football for 4 years that never get to experience this atmosphere. So we're fortunate to be in this situation.
It's a strange situation, to be honest with you, Coach. You have a rivalry with a team. Usually you almost despise that team all year. We don't really have that with Northman. A lot of mutual respect, but yet you got to be physical. You got to dominate when you get out there. I wish you guys nothing but the best, and it's good that we'll be seeing you next year regardless.
Thank you, and we definitely look forward to it. I think there's a lot of similarities between not just the 2 teams, but the 2 communities in general. So we'll look forward to tonight and then getting back after it next year, too.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Coach Brian Crabtree, the North Vermillion Falcons. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Minor Football on WQTY 93.3 FM, a production of Media 5 Sports. More. It's November, got a home football game and a semi-state against a team that you played before. How are you feeling as we go into this contest?
I feel a lot better. I've been pretty nervous, anxious all day, I guess you could say. And I feel a lot better being out on the field with these young men, this great family of ours. So I'm pretty excited to hopefully they can come out and play like they're capable of.
Week 4, of course, was a game that really could have gone either way. The Miners did a great job defensively. What do you take from that Week 4 game into this contest tonight?
One thing in common is that we know we can beat them. We can play with them, play with a state championship style team. But looking back, there. I mean, both teams are a little different. Both teams are a lot better than what we were week 4. But big thing is know that if we play our game like we're supposed to, we'll be in it at the end.
Offensively, what are you going to try to accomplish tonight? We know they did a real good job on our outside game. I'm sure you worked a little bit on ways to make that work. The passing game as well. What are you looking to try to establish right off the bat?
Well, we're going to have to see what their defense is going to give us there. But we're going to establish the run, and that'll set up our play action passing and stuff like that. But the main thing is establishing the run, whether it's inside, outside. If they're taking that away, then we're going to throw the ball.
I would ask who's playing good for the Miners, but obviously with the four-headed monster and, of course, the receivers, the offensive line is really key to that success.
Oh, yeah, in a big game like this, you have to control the line of scrimmage. You've got to come out there and control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. I mean, if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the game.
Defensively, they are a four-wide team with a lot of passing opportunities. What do you take from that West Washington game last week where they ran kind of a spread deal as well? Plus the running back. I mean, it was good for us to have a game like last week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, last week we was able to get our kids a little bit more focus after that game because we've had it pretty easy up to that point last week. So coming in there, I mean, we were battle tested last week, and that was good for the kids. It built a little more competition this week. But we faced multiple spreads all year, so we're not going to change a whole lot of things defensively. We may have some twists here and there, but other than that, we're going to keep doing the same stuff we've been doing all year. We're not going to get too fancy out there. We're just going to come out and play minor football.
Practices this week, I imagine, pretty enthusiastic. How has the mood been?
Oh, it's been a pretty good week of practice. When you look, we were a little nervous about the rain here and there a little bit, but it held off for us for practice. So we was able to practice outside, and the kids came ready to work every day, and that's all we ever asked for them.
A great group of seniors you got and a great group of juniors as well. How important, I mean, they know it's an important game, but how big a game is this for the Linton Minor football program?
Oh, it's big. Anytime you get a chance to play in a semi-state game, it's big for the program, and especially these kids. I mean, you're from last year this time when we were in the weight room working out, getting ready for this year, and then now they work their tails off to get in this moment right here on this field. And this is their last time playing on this field, so I hope they go out with a bang.
Injuries are always a thing when you get to this time of year. You got nicks and bruises, but it feels like most of the players are doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're okay. No injuries, no one's sitting out, so we're good to go.
Coach, I really appreciate it. Had a great year. Hopefully we're going to have another game after this. See you after the game with a big smile on your face.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Big D.
That's Coach Brian Oliver of the Linton Miners. We will take another 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Minor Football on WQTY 93.3 FM, a production of Media 5 Sports.
All right, Sarah, whenever you're after this one. And the starting lineups for tonight's game are brought to you by Midwest Natural Gas. If you want your energy source to be clean, efficient, cost-effective, and comfortable, then you just described natural gas. Natural gas, still your best energy choice. Call Midwest Natural Gas for rebate information at 384-4150.
Well, we'll start off with the Linton Miners quickly, though. A couple score updates. Monrovia is on top of Indianapolis Howe, 14-7. Of course, Central Catholic facing Northfield. That's a 12-0 contest right now. For the Miners, they're led on offense by their quarterback, Tyler Muir, a 5'8", 175 junior. He has run the ball 102 times for 1,152, 22 touchdowns, over 11 yards per carry. The other guys in that backfield, well known. Mitch Eberhardt leads the Miners in rushing with 1,212 yards on 101 carries. That's 12 yards per carry. He has 14 TDs. Pierce Jackson's had the best 2 games of his career. He's 97 carries, 1,034 yards. That's 10.6 per carry and 13 touchdowns there. And I don't know when the last time is that we've had 4 over 1,000-yard rushers for the Miners.
Yeah, definitely have that potential. I know that Garrett, I didn't get you the stats, but I know you got them up there as updated as you can get them, and I know he's in the ballpark there, so hopefully we can get him over that mark as well.
He's 86 at the fullback position with 14 touchdowns. That is a total of over 4,000 yards rushing for the Miners. Passing the ball, Tyler not passed a whole lot, but he's hit on 64% of his passes. He's 60 of 94 for 1,212 yards, 20 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. 2 of those interceptions came against the North Vermillion Falcons. Up front tonight, a key thing, Ian Fonseca, junior, 5'6", 150. The tackle is, our guard is Dylan Morris, a senior, 6'3", 235. Briar Pope, a junior, 6', 275. And the guards on the right side, Caden Walker, junior, 6', 205. And Owen Sparks, a tackle, a junior, 5'8", 215. We're also going to see a little bit of Kendall Williams and Keaton Cox on that offensive side of things. Defense, big job tonight, led by leading tackler Pierce Jackson. He's a senior, wears number 8, 6', 175 with 118 tackles. He's joined with Avery Gentry, a junior, 6', 190, number 31 at the other linebacker. Outside backers, Kendall Williams and Chad Trent, a junior and a senior, 5'9", 160 for Kendall, 6', 190 for Chad Trent. Garrett Mason, Zach Figley are the 2 defensive ends, 5'7", 190, 6', 160. In the middle, T. Pig, a senior, 5'10", 230, and Dylan Morris, 6'3", 235. Defensive backfield going to be tested always. Trey Passon, a junior, 5'10", 135. Keaton Cox probably getting the nod tonight. He played well last week. That lets Mitch Eberhardt rest on the defensive side of things, and Tyler Muir as well. And they're going to look quickly at the North Vermillion Falcons. Quarterback is Cody Wright, a 6'1", 190 senior, along with Jacob Earl, the running back, a 6', 185 senior. Wright has 1,030 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns, over 10 yards a carry. Earl, we've talked about 1,700 yards, 36 touchdowns. We talked about the receiving core. There's several of them. Vaughn Depew is a senior, 6', 175. He has 35 catches for 617 yards, 8 touchdowns. Alex Certain, another senior, number 32. He has 8 catches for 217 yards. Caleb Stevens, just a sophomore, number 80. He has 12 catches for 162. And Jacob Hill, who didn't play last week, had a concussion, just a sophomore. He has 27 catches for 386. Overall, that's 2,000 yards passing by Cody Wright, just 3 picks as well. He has 28 touchdown passes. Up front for them, Kyle Wickens, a senior, 6', 170. Bryson Carson, a 6'1", 190 junior at guard. The center is Riley Garner, a senior, 5'11", 180. James Donovan, a junior, 6'1", 220. And Drew Buchhaus, the other tackle, another junior, 6'1", 160. And real quickly, the defense led by Evan Weir with 155 tackles, and Drew Buchhaus at center. Inside linebacker as well, 95. The outside backers, Jacob Earl, and I believe it's 12, Jacob Hill. Inside, we're going to see Bryson Carson and Devin Brown. Devin Brown just 5'10", 170, kind of like the Miners like to do. Ari Sollers, a senior, 6'10", 210 at one defensive end. Wickens, the other defensive end. Trent Zumwalt, Cody Wright, and Vaughn Depew. I was going back to the OIU football days. Vaughn Depew is going to be the other safety. I want to send a quick word out to Livy Lou. She's listening to the game up in Indianapolis. Went to her first game last week. She's caught Miner fever.
Excellent. Teams are out on the field. They've already had the coin toss. Now they're going to let us know what the outcome of that was. It looks like North Vermillion has won the toss. They've elected to receive, so they're going to take the football first. The Miners are going to defend that south goal as the teams shake hands. The Miners in their home red jerseys, all decked out in red top to bottom, with the red helmets, the red pants, blue numbers on their jerseys. While North Vermillion, they are in their row white with blue pants, blue helmets, blue numbers, and both teams fired up. The atmosphere here, Dan, is electric. You can't beat it. Tonight's kickoff brought to you in part by Bob Switz City. Kick off your evening with the best pizza, sandwiches, and sides from Bobe's. You're just a phone call away, so call right now, 659-BOBE. That's 659-2623, and Amy will have it ready when you get there. Bobe Switch City open at 4 p.m. every Wednesday through Sunday, and Dan, right off the bat here, the special teams are going to be big tonight as well.
Yeah, they have a really good kicker. We have a really good kicker, and it just, we'll see what we do with kicking off. Can't imagine in 1,000 worlds that we would kick this ball to Jacob Earl, so I expect us to kick around the 20, but they also know that, so they try to switch things around. We saw that last week quite a bit.
Absolutely. Want to mention the two coaches. You had the interviews. Brian Crabtree in his 4th year at North Vermillion, 49-3.
Holy moly.
He spent 6 seasons at North Central, 1 at North Putnam before coming to North Vermillion, so it's got to have North in its name if he's going to coach there, evidently. Brian Oliver, his 3rd season at Linton, 36-4. Luke Wilson has the football. He's putting it on the tee at the 40-yard line. And sit back if you couldn't get here tonight. If you live too far away, if you just couldn't get here, sit back and enjoy. For those of you that showed up and you got your headphones on, let's cheer on the Miners tonight. And here we go. Luke Wilson, the Miners will go right to left. Wilson approaches the football, and we are underway. It's a low-line drive kick towards the far side of the field, picked up at about the 19-yard line, coming to the near side. Picks up a block there and tried a little trickery.
Didn't work.
And the Miners right there to knock down the runner. That was 42, Vaughn Depew.
Yeah, a whole lot of Miners are back there. Nice coverage, and that's nice to see.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 25-yard line, so the Miners have to be pleased with what they did on the kickoff.
Yeah, we got to enjoy the kick coverage, and I kind of like starting on defense because if you're excited, the energy's palpable. Here's where mistakes are made, right off the bat.
Depew comes off the field here looking like he's bent over a little bit, like he took a shot, so we'll see how that plays out. The Falcons bring 2 wide receivers to the near side. Now they make it 3 as they look over the sideline. I know Coach Oliver wanted the fans to get loud because they call the plays in similar to how we do. 1 receiver on the far side. Earl joins right in the backfield out of the shotgun. About 5 yards deep. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Earl, keeps it himself, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the first play.
That's exactly what I expected him to do. I wonder how much they'll use Earl as a decoy tonight and let Wright, because you remember Wright had a couple of nice carries. Nice job reacting by Gentry, number 31, as well as support from Muir from the safety position.
Do want to correct the ball's at the 20, not the 25, so it's 2nd down and 10. Ball snapped to Wright, fires a pass out to the left side, and the Miners break it up. Intended out there for number 7, Trent Zumwalt.
Yeah, that's a nice play by the free safety again. That's Mueller coming up and making that hit. Now we got a huge 3rd down right off the bat.
Right off the bat, and you can hear the Miner fans through the glass on this side. That's good to know here in the early going. 3rd down and 10 for the Falcons, and a big play for the Miner defense.
Big 3rd down, and you can hear the Miner fans across the way through the glass, and that's pretty good.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Snap to Wright, going to keep it himself again. Tries to cut up the middle, and he's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 3.
Avery Gentry, the inside linebacker. We talked quite a bit about Pierce Jackson, but Avery started as a sophomore. Now they're looking at 4th down and long, and they almost have to punt here.
Back deep, Muir will drop back for the Miners. A couple of wings going to drop back with him there. Keaton Cox actually going to drop back deep. Passing falls back in about halfway back, and we'll see who the punter is here.
That's the quarterback.
Also, Wright punts. I mean, you wouldn't expect a fake here at this point in the game.
You wouldn't, but it's semi-state time.
Snap is good. Kick is away. A nice high kick going to be fielded just past the 50 by Cox. Gets it over the 50-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at about the 46, and the Miners with good field position.
Great field position. The defense did their part, Darren, and now the offense comes out, and we're going to see what happens there. Keaton Cox had to make a nice catch there. There were some Falcons ready to put the pop on him.
Yes, there were. They're going to mark it at the 46, so the Miners have it in plus territory at the North Vermillion 46-yard line for their first drive of the game. If you're just tuning in, North Vermillion 3 and out on their first possession. And here come the Miners. Clothier comes to the near side. The Miners with their normal set. Mason joins Muir in the backfield. Figley going to come in motion now to the left side. 2 wings, Jackson and Eberhard. Eberhard in motion. Eberhard going to take the handoff. We got a quick flag.
Oh, no. Look at that.
Right off the bat, Mitch is going to pick up about 7 yards, and that referee threw that flag. Man, I've never seen a flag come out so fast.
Unless it was an alignment problem, but boy, that was a nice, we got to the outside like we were hoping. That definitely looks against the chop block.
So the Miners right off the bat
15 yards.
Get a big, costly penalty, going to back them into their own territory right off the bat.
Well, they called this against us at North Vermillion probably twice, and we got the call last week, and Darren had his That's not the way to start the drive. We had a little success, but look at this. This goes all the way back.
Yeah, all the way back to the Miner 40-yard line. Going to bring up second down and 25, actually about 24.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty.
Well, actually, it'll still be first down, so that play comes off the board. Clothier goes to the far side this time. Muir awaits the snap. In motion is Jackson. This time he'll take the handoff going to the right side. Finds a little bit of running room, still on his feet. Gets it out near the 45.
Well, you know he's going to run the ball hard every time, and Evan Weir, number 10, is going to make that tackle, but you go from second and about 3 to second and about Sandburn.
Second down. They give him 5 yards on the play. So second down and about, looks like 19.
And for those who don't know the chop block rule, if you're engaged with a player at the line of scrimmage, say Dylan has got a guy up, you can't then a guy next to him come in and hit him low. It's a high-low type of thing. And it's the thing about injuries. It's probably a good rule, but it's just you get confused on what to do about it.
Eberhardt takes the handoff, tries to find room to the outside, cuts it up, gets it out over the 45 to about the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up third and long for the Miners.
Bukas got over there, number 54, and Mitch tried to make the cut inside, which is what you got to do. You can't try to stretch it out. We're out about the 47-yard line, but you don't want to do, Darren, is make a mistake here.
You can bring Kendall out, let him punt, play the field position game. Absolutely.
You'll recall in week 4 was an interception that set up North Vermillion and really in the Miner red zone.
Clothier to the far side. Muir with Jackson, Eberhardt in motion, fakes the handoff. Muir looks at the pass, fires it, tipped up in the air, and going to be
caught.
Incomplete, they call it. It would have been well short of the first down. It would have picked up about 8 or 9 yards, but it's called incomplete, and that will indeed bring on the Miner punting unit.
Well, he had a little bit of time to throw it at least, but the ball was tipped, and actually that's what one of his interceptions came from, a tip.
So Kendall Williams will fall back to punt, and it looks like Depew made his way back out into the game. He's back deep to return it, along with, I assume that's Earl. Now he turns around, so it is indeed Earl.
Depew had 2 interceptions in the last. He's had one in the last game, and he had one against. He's had 2
Good
against
snap.
us at home.
Williams gets the punt away. Nice high punt, going to be fielded around about the 20. Bounces off his face mask. And the Miners have recovered. See who that is on the recovery down there.
I think it's Chance Howard, number 52, or it could have been Keaton Cox, number 4. We'll have to find out. That went right off the face mask of Vaughn Depew, and the first big break of this contest goes to the Miners.
So they're going to take over at the North Vermillion 23-yard line, and like you said, the first big break goes to the Miners as Depew it literally bounced right off his face mask and practically right into the hands of the Miners.
Right there to get. I want to say
2 wide receivers. Muir takes the snap, fires the pass to the right side to Clothier. He's going to catch it for a touchdown.
Touchdown.
The Miners are in the end zone, 23 yards out. Muir to Clothier. The Miners got the offense out there. They put Jackson out wide to the near side, Clothier to the right, and they just fired it out there against one-on-one coverage.
You couldn't ask for a better pass. That ball went right over the shoulder. I'm not sure who that defender was, but a beautiful pass and a great catch by Jacob Clothier. I know his dad's got to be jumping up and down right now at the J7, as are all Miner fans. And here, a big extra point by Luke Wilson.
Very much so. Wilson on to add the extra point. Snap, kick, and it is good. So with 8:53 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Linton Miners take advantage of the turnover. They're on top 7-0 back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Take home the 144 horsepower Razor XP Turbo and get a free 1-year powertrain warranty. And check out the ultimate single-seater, the 60 horsepower Ace 900. Financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Going on now.
High School. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite in Linton to sign up for Dish Network. Packages starting as low as $19.99 a month. Includes free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. He'll even pay $50 on your first bill. Again, don't call those out-of-state numbers. Call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite, 847-8848.
Well, if we weren't excited earlier, you're excited now for the Miners, as that's exactly what you wanted to do.
Wilson on the kickoff. It's a roller this time, fielded at about the 36, and they just down it there. That's Trent Zumwalt that catches it. So a little bit better field position this time for the Falcons. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 36.
Well, we've done this squib kick thing a few times now. You do surrender some field position, but the 36 is better than taking a risk.
Absolutely. The Falcons send one wide receiver to the near side. That's the short side of the field. Three actually to the far left. Earl joins right in the backfield, takes the snap. First carry for Earl. He tries to find running room to the right.
There you go. You got to get him down.
Couple of minors there. They got to make the tackle, though. Chance to get him in the backfield. He kind of broke free, able to at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's what he does so well, Darren. He's squiggly. He gets out of that kind of thing. It was Pierce Jackson that kind of had him back there, but T-Pig and I believe, who was the other guy that was over there? There were two of them over there.
Ends up with a 1-yard gain. 3 wide receivers to the far, 1 to the near. Wright takes the snap, looks to throw, and now he's going to suck it up and run with it out to the 40 and gets near the 45-yard line. Going to be short of the first down by about a yard here. So it'll be 3rd down and 1.
That's one of those things you got to watch out for, and I think that's what they're going to do a lot of. Kept the ball up the middle, and here comes a 3rd down and short.
So another big play. Would they dare go for it this early in the game?
I can't imagine
position
that they
on
would.
the field. In motion goes number 10 out to the left side is Weir. There's a snap, and they're going to hand it off to Earl. Up the middle, finds running room, out over the 50 to the 45, down to the 40 before a couple of minors finally drag him down.
Well, that's what he didn't do a lot of the first time around. He powers the ball through forward, and boy, the drag down tackle by Kendall Williams saves probably a touchdown on that play.
So 1st and 10 now at the minor 40 for the Falcons as they move into minor territory. 7:45 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Coaching staff calls in the play. They got about 3 guys over there that are making signals.
Man, look at that alignment. 3 guys stacked on that left side.
Wright takes it, going to hand it off to Wright, coming to the right side, looking for running room, going to be tackled after about 3 yards.
Yeah, that was weird there. Who carried that ball?
It was Wright.
Oh, it was Earl.
Not Earl, I'm sorry. Earl on the carry.
Dropped down by, it looks like Mason and Jackson out there.
Going to get it down near the 35. They mark it at the 36, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. 3 wide receivers again to the left side, 1 to the right. Earl and Wright, the only 2 in the backfield, about 5 yards deep. There's the snap, going to look to throw, pressure up the middle, fires the pass. It's caught by, he breaks the tackle. He's down to the 10, the 5, and all the way into the end zone and right back at you. That's Vaughn Depew.
And he's their leading receiver, and we had some pressure up front. He just dumped it in front. Jackson, they were able to catch him, and the Falcons answer really quick that time. Not a lot of time off the clock. 35-yard on the pass play. Just really a couple of minutes off the clock.
And now the big extra point for them, and on to kick, it looks like, is Miguel Pena-Zorzano.
And he's been pretty solid, 93%.
Good snap, hold down, kick in the air, and it's going to be good. So Zorzano adds the extra point. And with 6:52 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, North Vermillion and Linton tied up at 7 apiece. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Back once again at Linton High School. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Shields Hardware in Linton, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs, hardware and plumbing supplies, as well as paint and paint supplies. Shields Hardware says go Miners.
5 plays, 64 yards, 2 minutes and 1 second is all that took, and that was keyed on that 3rd down and 1. Actually, at a 2nd and 9, that Wright was able to scramble for 8 yards on a keeper. Then Earl had a 15-yard run, and that's a 36-yard touchdown pass, and Depew across the middle. And he was just able to break that tackle, and they got a lot of weapons there, and we're going to have to keep our hands full back there.
Absolutely. Pena-Zorzano with the kick. It's a nice high kick towards the far side of the field. Going to be taken at about the 18-yard line. And looking for running room and finding some running room. I believe that's Eberhardt going to get it out over the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Buchhaus is going to make the tackle out there. Had a little bit of running room, and now the Miner offense
Well, they didn't do much the first time after a big penalty, though, so
Yeah.
they got to avoid that penalty. So they're going to mark it at the 33.
The penalty is what
32,
killed us.
actually, they changed it on the scoreboard. So 1st and 10 at the 32. They're going to bring Clothier to the near side. Normal wing set. Mason with Muir in the backfield. In motion, Eberhardt going to take the handoff, coming to the outside, has a blocker out in front, turns it down the field. He's at the 50, the 45, the 40, down to the 30, and runs out of gas and out of bounds. Nice job by Ian Fonseca out front there to lead the way.
And Ian has got a stitches full forehead in an incident that happened in practice just, I believe, 2 days ago. And Mitch, it's rare that we see him run out of steam. I don't know that Earl might have caught him. Great lead block by the 5'6", 150.
They're marking that at the 39-yard line. He didn't step out. Wow. So they mark it at the 39. I clearly thought he was in up to at least the 30 before he stepped out.
Well,
nonetheless, a first down.
Didn't see anybody stop at the 29-yard gain, and he almost didn't get out of the backfield. That linebacker was almost there. So these are the plays we didn't have in that first meeting.
Normal set. Clothier goes far to the right side this time. Jackson, they fake the handoff up the middle to Mason. He's got a little bit of running room down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
That'll be the Blue Mule trucking right up the gut. Bukas and Wright are going to make the tackle. Wright got him high. Bukas got him low. But you'll take a 4-yard pickup down to the 39-yard line, 34-yard line.
Going to make it 2nd down and 5 here for the Miners. Clothier wide to the right side. Mason with Muir in the backfield. In motion against Jackson. This time they'll give it to him. Pierce looking for running room. Finally cuts it up a little bit. Gets it down to the 30. Inside the 30 to about the 29. Maybe just short of the first down.
We're in 4-down territory now. That's going to be Weir, number 10, who gets in there and makes a tackle. You can see Pierce really trying to know where to stick his nose in, what to do. And it's going to be 3rd and very short.
3rd down and 1 as they mark it on the 30. Miners look over to the sideline to get the play. They're going to send Clothier wide to the near side this time. Now the Miners look like they may be changing the play. Actually, Clothier knew the formation. Now they got the cards up on the far side. Clothier to the near side.
Luke Miller is in at the tight end position.
Muir waits for the snap. Now we got motion over to the near side for the tight end. Muir takes the snap, hands it off up the gut to Mason. He'll get the first down.
That's what you want.
Just all you needed there was the yard. They rammed it straight ahead, picked it up, and they'll get another set of downs.
That's what you want to do. Move the chains. And the key to this is that first down, Darren. You got to get some positive yards on first down. It looked like the tackle was made by Solers, number 85.
Got to stay ahead of the chains, as they say. And Miners didn't do that on their first possession with that big penalty. So 1st and 10, the Miners at the North Vermillion 28. 5:10 to go here in the first quarter. Deadlocked at 7 apiece. Clothier to the near side. In motion is Eberhardt. They fake it up the middle to Mason. He's got running room. Right over the top, down to near the 10-yard line.
Holy moly, Depew just got, he made the tackle. You can't take that away from him, but Mason lowers his shoulder, puts the boom on number 42, and if he was feeling a little pressure from that opening kickoff, that didn't feel good.
So they spotted on the 12. The Miners another first down.
You earned that tackle on that tackle chart that time.
Very much so. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Clothier to the near side. Muir waits for the snap. Takes it. He's going to keep it himself up the gut this time. Going to pick up about 3 inside the 10-yard line, down to maybe the 8.
That's Wyatt Hall, number 72, getting in there to make the hit from the defensive tackle spot.
2nd down and 6 at the 8-yard line.
Well, here's where in the opening contest, as well as the regional contest last year, we could not get the ball in the end zone on a couple of occasions that came back to haunt us.
Clothier still to the near side. Muir out of the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it off to Mason going around the right side, trying to find some running room. He's going to be dragged out of bounds.
Earl dragged him down by the shoulders. Mason tried to reach the ball out there, but, you always almost hate that because it pops out.
Actually stays inbound, so the clock keeps running. They're going to mark it at the 4-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
It'd be interesting to see if we don't get it here. If we would genuinely try the field goal, or will we just try to shove that ball in the end zone? I almost think you've got to shove the ball in the end zone.
I agree. I think even as good as Luke has kicked it all year, I think you need the 7 points here. Muir with Eberhardt in motion. They give it to Mitch. He cuts his head, loses the football.
He lost the ball.
North Vermillion has it.
Oh, my gosh.
You cannot. Wow. So Mitch loses control. North Vermillion going to come up with it. So a big stop for the North Vermillion defense as the Miners turn it over in the red zone.
Oh, my goodness.
So the Falcons will take over with 3:31 left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 3-yard line.
Poised to go in and put the touchdown after driving from the 32, and we cough the ball up again in a big game like this.
Well, now it's big for the defense to hold them down here. A 3 and out would be perfect here. Wright joined by 2 backs in the backfield now. Wide receivers to each side. Now they motion the other back out to the near side. Takes the drops the football. Miner defense in there. He gets it out of the end zone. Out near the 5-yard line. Somebody a little slow to get up there for the Falcons.
Well, that would have been disastrous for the Falcons. Right, the ball didn't kind of bounce right up into his hands, and he was able to actually get out maybe to the 4-yard line.
5 is where they're going to mark it. So 2nd down and 8. He ends up getting a couple of yards out of it. 2 wide receiver, or 2 running backs rather. Again, no, 1 running back. 3 wide receivers are going to hand it off to Earl, looking for running room. And he's going to be stopped by the Miners, maybe just over the 5-yard line. Might have got a yard to the 6.
A nice effort by the Miner defense there. You know, you got to turn a bad into a positive, and that's the type of play that could just decimate a team. But look at that humongous Miner crowd down there on the track and in that end zone.
Get loud here. Another big play for the Miner defense on a 3rd down and 7 from the 6-yard line. Earl takes the snap, going to look to throw to the near side. People are covered. Now he's headed to the right side, left side rather, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down.
Nice coming up on the ball there. Keaton Cox, number 4, but there was another one, I believe Jackson, and they're going to have to punt that ball from their end zone.
So it's going to be marked at about the 9 or 8. They call it the 8-yard line, so a pickup of a couple. 4th down and 5, and you know we do mention the quarterback is the punter, but.
Well, you'd have some serious.
Muir back deep along with Cox, passing about halfway as Cody Wright drops back to punt the football from his end zone. A lot of things can happen. It's a good snap. He's going to step into it. There's the kick. It's a line drive. Should be returnable. No, it just hits and dies.
Don't get anywhere near it.
It's going to bounce out near the 40-yard line. Going to be stopped, and the Miners will have it with good field position. 1st and 10 at the Falcon 39-yard line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Kramer's Tree Service in Linton for all your residential and commercial tree needs, plus stump grinding and free estimates. Good luck, Miners, from Kramer's Tree Service.
Well, the defense has done the job that time around. Just the one series, we gave up a little bit more than we wanted to. And now boy, you hate looking back on this game and seeing a fumble that close to the scoring.
Tyler rolls out right, looks to throw, fires a quick pass. Believe he hit Pierce Jackson. No, Pierce is on this side, so maybe that was Clothier.
It's on 8 for sure.
So Clothier on the far side makes the catch. Going to get it to the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 3, going to make it 2nd down and 7.
2 of 3 for 25 yards is Muir. That nice touchdown pass on the first play after that fumble. The Miners got great field position, Darren. Again, we need to take advantage of this situation. The quickest way to eliminate that fumble from our memory is to go down and put it in there.
Eberhardt on the near side in the slot. Nobody on him. Muir going to keep it, and he's going to be stopped immediately. Nobody on Eberhardt in the slot on the near side of the field that time. Just a quick pitch out to him would have probably picked up 6 or 7 anyway.
Wickens was able to come in from that defensive end and win that battle, and probably loses a yard maybe. I guess it's at the 36.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 7 here for the Miners. They're going to send Clothier wide to the right, along with Pierce Jackson out in the slot on the right side. Eberhardt going to stay on the right wing. Mason will join Muir in the backfield. Tyler takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right side, cuts it up the middle, gets it by a tackle down to the 25 to 20. Gets out of tackle 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tyler Muir.
Play by Tyler Muir. Again, I talked about Earl being squirmy. You can't be more squirrely than Tyler Muir, and that probably is a poster waiting to be made. Boy, he made a great play. Came back across the middle, swerved a couple of times, made a couple guys missed. We were just hoping for the 1st down. Instead, he cuts outside, races to the end zone, and the Miners get back on top.
13-7. Wilson on to add the big extra point. Every point will count tonight. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it's good.
That's great.
Wilson adds the extra point. So with 58 seconds left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners back on top, 14-7. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. Williams Field. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes in Linton and Duggar, and the new Ming Family Funeral Home opening soon on Highway 58 in Odin, serving you with funeral pre-planning and at-need service since 1930. Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes, a name you've learned to trust.
That's a 36-yard run for the Miners. That's an 8 plays, 65 yards, and we went down to the 1 and didn't score. This time just 3 plays to cover the distance, and the Miner offense is able to move the ball there, and that's a big thing compared to that first week around.
Very much so. Wilson approaches the kick. See what we do with it this time. It's a low line drive to the near side of the field. It skids. It's picked up by Earl, I believe, at the 17-yard line, and he's going to be brought down just over the 30 at about the 31. That's actually Depew on the carry. So Vaughn Depew brings it out to the 31-yard line where North Vermillion will take over.
And the only way Earl's going to get that kick is if somehow he trades places. Depew now was carrying that one. Didn't get a whole lot.
So the Falcons take back over. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. The ball at the 31-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Earl joins right in the backfield out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to give it to Earl, looking for running room. He's stopped in the backfield, and they're going to hold him up and make the tackle. Going to be a yard loss.
Figley, number 5, held on to him with the jersey. What I like is the gang tackling. Mason gets out there, Jackson gets out there along with Gentry, but got to give credit to the guy who was able to get out there first, and that's Zach Figley.
What looked like Earl was going to get away from him, and Zach did a nice job of just holding on with one hand and letting his teammates come and help him out. It'll bring a 2nd and 11. And now we got a stoppage by the referee here. An official's timeout.
Kendall Williams somebody's having to come out.
Somebody's coming into the game. I didn't see anybody leave the field.
I saw Jackson run in that direction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's the 11. Hopefully Pierce is all right.
He ran off on his own steam. Maybe the helmet came off.
There's the snap. Looking to throw is Earl.
Get him.
And right, rather, looking to throw, and they're going to sack him.
Oh!
Big hit.
Dylan Morris is going to come back there and make the tackle, but he held him up just long enough for some Miner came back there and put a hello welcome to Roy Williams Field, and that's a sack, and that's the end of the first quarter.
So at the end of 1 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 14, North Vermillion 7. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. And back once again at Roy Williams Field, where it'll be a 3rd down and 15 for North Vermillion as they come back to play here, and another big opportunity for the Miner defense.
And it is big indeed, and I still see Fonseca out there at inside linebacker, so we better train our eyes over and make sure that Pierce Jackson, nothing happened to him.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Earl with Wright in the backfield. Wright takes a snap, a little low, looks to pass, quick pressure, and throws an incomplete pass. So that'll bring the North Vermillion punting unit back on again, and the Miners, good pressure up the middle. Looked like maybe they was trying to set up a screen, and the Miners all over it.
Well, we heard Joe Lorig talking at the end of the booth here about watching that screen, and here comes Pierce Jackson. Thankfully back into the contest, but a nice job by Fonseca and great pressure by the Miners to be able to, they've done the job so far other than the one series, and now they're going to have to kick the ball. This is already the 3rd punt of the game by number 12.
There's the snap. It's good. Kick is away. It's towards the near sideline. It's going to be fairly short. Bounces at midfield, comes towards the out of bounds, actually takes a minor bounce back towards the sideline, and they'll mark it around the 50. Got an update from Lafayette Central Catholic. They are up 28-0 with under a minute into the second quarter.
Yeah, that's heavily favored Northfield. The Norsemen have had a great season like Linton. They had to forfeit, but they had to forfeit about 4 or 5 games. Only lost 1 game on the field. They beat Adams Central a couple of weeks ago, and surprisingly so, they're in that game.
50-yard line for the Miners. More good field position.
Got to take advantage of it.
Very much so. Clothier wide to the far side. Muir waits for the snap. Eberhardt in motion. They give it to him. He's going to be. He could be in trouble now. He cuts it up the field, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Does so, and actually ends up getting close. And now a late flag. What's that going to be for?
Flag comes in very late across the sideline. You got to give credit to.
What a running
Mitch
job by Eberhardt.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to lose about 7 or 8 yards there. He actually ends up picking up 3, but a flag on the field, I'm afraid that's going to be on the Miners.
Yeah, boy, that came in awfully late. How far did he get down there to?
I think he got over the midfield. It just depends on where they marked him out of bounds. Hard to see on the far side there. Referee's still having a conversation. That flag came in late enough, it almost could have been after he was out of bounds.
Yeah, the officials are talking quite a bit, but like you say, a flag like that typically is a block late or a block in the back or something along those lines. And if it is, boy, that's another big penalty.
Personal foul on the Miners.
Oh, gosh.
So just not a very intelligent play. We don't know who it was on, but just can't have plays like that. I mean, it's not even a hold or a block in the back. The referee says personal foul, and that'll just be killer because that'll bring up, we'll see if it'll be second down or first down. Was it before the play ended or was it after the play? So
it looked like he got down to the 48-yard line of North Vermillion.
Second down, so a huge penalty there. It's going to cost the Miners both the down, so it came after the play. And the Miners get a big 15-yarder. It's going to go all the way back to the 36-yard line. So Mitch evidently picked up a yard on the plays, what they're going to give him credit for, and then the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, somebody must have hit somebody after the play.
Muir keeps it up the middle.
Look at that.
Out to the 45, now near the 50, almost back to the original line of scrimmage after faking it to Pierce Jackson.
Big run up the middle, and it almost looked like his own man kind of helped to bring him down. He tried to make a cut behind him, but he got back all that yardage back almost at the 50. I guess it's really to the Miner 49-yard line, and that's 53 yards for Tyler Muir, the junior quarterback, and he's running. He looks like he's running with some serious intensity.
Third down and 11. Big play for the Miner offense here. Be nice to get the first down, keep this drive alive. Muir going to look to throw, fires it to Clothier on the near side, and he drops the football. Tried to look to see what kind of running room he had and didn't look it all the way in. It ends up being incomplete. I'm sure the Miners will send out the punting unit, play field position here. So incomplete.
Wright was right there to make the hit if he would have caught it, so he probably wouldn't have gotten the first down. Perhaps it would have been a fourth and short situation. So at the 11:08 mark, Miners look like they're going to punt. Kendall Williams is back there.
So Williams there to punt. Back deep to return is Earl.
He ain't going to kick the ball,
I'd say that ball is going to go out of bounds. Or maybe come over here to the near side and bounce. Williams takes a little bit of a low snap, and the kick, not a very good one. It was tipped, the referee says. Gets a good Miner bounce down inside the 30, now down inside the 25, and rolls dead at about the 21-yard line.
We'll take that.
Referee signaled that got tipped, and you could kind of tell the way it come out of there.
Avery Sollers, number 85, really was able to get close to it. That's one thing we didn't talk about. The Miners punt team has really gotten in there several blocks the last few weeks. And now the Miner defense, can we do it again?
First and 10, North Vermillion takes over at the 21-yard line. 10:58 left here in the first half. The Miners on top, 14-7 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. North Vermillion will send 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far, and Earl will join right in the backfield. Waits for the snap. Takes it, going to look to throw, pressure up the middle. Now he's going to look to run. He's hit from behind. Man. Nice stick.
Chad Trent, number 10 from the outside backer position.
Great job staying with the play. He overran it, came back from the backside.
Almost got him to begin with, and I assume that's not a sack. It looked like a passing play to me.
I think it probably would be a sack. It's a 2-yard loss, so I don't know why it wouldn't be, even though he looked like he might be getting ready to tuck it up and run. But
well, I've always wondered about those rules because it does look like he was going to pass the ball, and just because he decides to run, it still should be a sack. That's a loss of 2, I'm sorry.
There's the snap again, fires it quickly out. That almost had to be close to an offensive pass interference. They were already blocking out there before the pass was connected. It's incomplete anyway. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 12.
That was intended for number 10, Weir, and that's the old play where the other guy that's spread out kind of tries to shield, and you do wonder when that happens. Oh, here's a big third down for the Miner defense, and they trying to get the fans pumped up. Boy, you just love seeing how the crowd
try to bring them in here on our microphones a little bit from across the field, and you can hear how loud the Miner faithful are tonight, trying to push this team over the hump and get them to Lucas Oil.
Weir is
There's
joined
the
in the
snap.
backfield.
Going to roll out to the near side, looks to fire, hits it on the sideline, completed, but right out of bounds. It's complete to Caleb Stevens.
Yeah, we'll take that all day long. That short pass to him. Kendall Williams was over there along with Cox, and that's going to set up a fourth and definitely too long situation. Try to see where he got out
to. Set the ball down at the 25-yard line, so he picks up 6. It'll be third down or fourth down rather, and 6.
And he went out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 10:14.
So back to punt once again, Cody Wright. Back deep, Cox on the near side, Muir towards the middle of the field. Actually, they're leaving a lot of room open on the far side.
Yeah, they are. Ooh.
There's the kick. It's a high kick towards the near side. It's going to go out of bounds. So the Miners will take back over somewhere at about the... I don't know why he ran all the way down there. Now he's walking back forward, and he's going to mark it. He's going way up there. Going to mark it at the 47-yard line of North Vermillion. So good field position for the Miners.
Well, again, great field position. And you just got to feel if you could punch another one in here and give yourself your defense a little bit more lead, they can play more with their ears pinned back.
First and 10 at the North Vermillion 47. Can the Miners capitalize on more good field position? Muir takes the snap, gives it up the middle to Mason, gets it down to the 40, still steaming ahead down near the 35-yard line, probably going to be marked at about the 37.
Earl makes the tackle, but big Dylan Morris, number 78, steamrolling down the field. And Dylan's been nursing a shoulder problem the last few weeks, and he's just playing on guts.
First down for the Miners. They get it down to the 37-yard line, first and 10. As they set it up again, Clothier to the near side. Eberhardt, Jackson on the wings. Mason with Muir in the backfield. In motion is Jackson. They're going to give it to Pierce. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Breaks the tackle, and now he's swung around and hit inside the 35. Gets it down near the 32-yard line. Might have got 4 out of that.
Yeah, and he ran the ball hard, and Earl and him were kind of doing that twirly-twirl dance, and Depew come in and had an open shot. And
take it down to the 32, a pickup of 5, and you worry on those when he's spinning around like that about holding on to that football. Second down and 5. It's the North Vermillion faithful now that are rattling the bleachers on our side of the field. Tyler waits for the snap. Eberhardt in motion. He takes the handoff, going to the left side, waits on the block, clears out. He's got some running room, and he's going to get it down inside the 25-yard line, pick up another first down.
Boy, I tell you what, I don't know what's got into Mitch. Maybe it's senioritis, and he knows it's his last year, but he just lowered the boom on Jacob Earl on the outside. You know, he didn't try to dance. He just put his shoulder down, and Earl gets credit for the tackle, but quite a nice hard run, and Mitch did a good job there too, because he was hit at the line of scrimmage and was able to bounce off of that.
Well, Mitch not playing on defense now and getting a chance to rest up, and he's running a lot harder. Now we're going to get a timeout from North Vermillion. 8:56 left on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top, 14-7. We'll keep it here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Skinner's Towing in Linton, your 24-hour wrecker service, and featuring a secured storage facility. Skinner's Towing says, go Miners. Also brought to you in part by Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop, located at 69 North Main in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's is proud of our Linton Miners and says good luck tonight. So North Vermillion going to take the time out here, try to readjust the defense as the Miners are looking to put more points on the board here with 8:56 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that first quarter, the Miners put up 115 yards to North Vermillion 68, but this second half so far, Miners with 39 yards. And quick look at the leaders on the board. The four-headed monster at work. Muir with 53, Eberhardt with 43, Mason with 37, Pierce just with 14, but we got 147 yards rushing, over 8 yards a carry in this first half, and this is something that we did not do at all on the offense in week 4.
Miners will have it as we get ready to come back to play. First and 10 at the 23. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Southside Express in Linton. Southside Express has everything you need when you're in a hurry and is locally owned and operated.
I would imagine that timeout by Coach Crabtree was to tell his boys it's time to pucker up, because this is a big drive for the Miners.
Very much so. Clothier to the near side. Muir going to spin and take it to the left side. Has some running room. Cuts it up the field. He's going to head down inside the 5 and all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tyler Muir.
Oh, yes, and there's a nice it just willed to get in there. He spun and put the gates on to get around the outside. Not the gates, but just to put the jets on. You get a little excited when you're up here seeing this minor team, and they just are willing this game. They're running the ball harder, and he was able to cut inside. DePuy tried to drag him down, couldn't do it. And Muir, second touchdown run of the night.
Luke Wilson on for the big extra point here. Tries to make it 21-7. There's the snap. Good snap. Ball down. Kick up. Luke drills another one right through there. And with 8:48 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 21, North Vermillion 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Ranger XP 900s and Crew 900s come with a free 3-year extended warranty and big cash rebates. Sportsman ATVs come with a free winch. Get these great deals and more during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
And welcome back to Roy Williams Field. Tonight's game brought to you in part by McDonald's in Linton, offering all-day breakfast. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m.
That was a 4-play, 47-yard drive, and the big thing is we took advantage of that good field position.
Now the Miners did indeed take over at the 47 of North Vermillion, so in plus territory once again. And Luke Wilson gets ready to kick off for the Miners here. And we've gone with a couple of different strategies here on the kickoff, so we'll see what we get on this kick. Wilson approaches it, and he's going to kick a low-line drive to the far side of the field. Going to be taken over there at about the 15-yard line. Running room up the sideline, still on his feet out over the 30, near the 35.
I believe that was number 32, Certain. Alex Certain, a senior receiver.
So North Vermillion here will take over again, trailing 21-7. First and 10, they're going to mark it at the 34.
Well, the Miners have done a good job. The one drive that the Falcons had, they were able to move the ball a little bit. Just 20 yards rushing on 5 carries for Earl, 7 for 10 for Cody Wright. He's 2 of 5 for 42 yards passing the ball.
Trying to get that crowd into the game again are the Miner defenders. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. As Wright looks to the sideline, waits for the snap, takes it, going to look to throw again to the near side, fires the pass, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah. Chad Trent knocks that down, number 10. A little bit of pressure as well from Figley, number 5. He leads the Miners and hurries.
Make it second down and 10 here.
That's kind of the situation we saw before there. They're just not enough. If he didn't throw it then, Figley was going to hit him. That ball knocked down by Trent, number 10.
2 wide receivers join right in the backfield this time. And now they're going to take the snap, hands it off to the near side. Earl has it, looking for running room, quickly up and making the stop short of the 40-yard line.
Well, that'd be number 78, Dylan Morris, who come out from his tackle position.
Going to be about a 5-yard gain, going to bring up a big 3rd down and 5 here. Actually, it's going to be 3rd and 4. They're going to mark it closer to the 40.
And you got to wonder now, if they get close up to the 40-yard line and it's short, that they don't try to go for it here. 3
wide receivers far, 1 to the near. And now he's moving while the ball snapped. Let's see if they're...
He ain't going to go nowhere.
Nowhere, Earl. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there, but evidently he was just considered to be in motion. But Earl goes nowhere. Going to actually lose a yard back to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, we'll take the play, Darren. We'll
Absolutely,
take the play.
No doubt. So it's going to bring up about a 4th down and 6.
A fabulous play by defensive end Garrett Mason.
So 4th and 6 here. Are the Falcons going to roll the dice? Nope, they're going to drop back to punt. You got to wonder. I mean, you got to still cover guys passing out there short now. Kendall Williams goes out to cover the receiver. There's a short snap it. Now Dylan Moore is trying to run him down, and he is going to be stopped. Big play by the Miner defense on 4th down on the fake punt.
Kendall Williams was out there, number 22, and another Miner as well, and that's desperation time when they start doing that kind of stuff.
Especially at that point in the field, and the Miners going to take over once again, this time inside the 35 at the North Vermillion 34-yard line.
Morris, Dylan Morris, the first one out there to push him, but I believe it was Figley, now that I think about it, that got out there as well. And the Miners are going to have the ball in great field position at the 34-yard line. And boy, if you put one in here, serious pressure going to be felt by the Falcons.
7:25 left in the first half. Clothier to the near side. Snap to Muir, going to look to throw. Fakes it. Now he's got the hitch and go. He's open. Clothier makes the catch, turns it up the field. He's going to be stopped at the 3-yard line.
Oh, my goodness, what a play.
The double move, the pump fake by Muir. Clothier had him beat. They tried to grab a hold of him. He got by the defender all the way down to the 4-yard line, and the Miners have it, 1st and goal.
Well, the passing game has been more prominent tonight. The ball placed at the 4-yard line of North Vermillion. That is a 30-yard pass play, 55 yards in passing. All three of those passes have gone to Jacob.
1st and goal for the Miners at the 4. Clothier to the far side. Muir takes the snap up the middle to Mason, looking for running room, going to be stopped. Maya got a yard out of it. We'll see where they put it down.
A lot of white jerseys in there that time. Looks like 52 Wickens is in there along with Earl.
And they're going to give him, looks like no gain, so they're going to put it back down at the 4-yard line. 2nd down, 6:54. Want to thank Shane Rimmel for the updates coming my way. Monrovia has a 16-13 halftime lead over Howell. Muir waits for the snap. In motion is the tight end. He's going to reset. Tyler takes the snap, going to keep it himself up the middle. And Maya got a yard out of it. So it's going to be 3rd and goal now for the Miners.
Now here's a situation where, Darren, I don't know that if we might not kick a field goal. With a 21-7 situation.
Might very well do that. Make it a 3-possession game.
Yeah.
Give him a yard down to the 3. 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, we may have a little bit of a rollout on this situation. We've seen some passes being thrown to Figley in the last couple of weeks, and he's taken some big hits for catching them.
See what coach, offensive coordinator Jake Jennings draws up here on a 3rd down and goal from the 3. Takes the snap straight ahead. That had to be closer than the 3 if they called that play. Right up the gut. They actually put Tyler under. Touchdown Miners! That was Tyler straight ahead from under center.
And he just pushed ahead from 3 yards out, like you say. That's what we did a whole lot of. And boy, that puts the Miners at 27-7 at the 5:54 mark of the 2nd quarter.
5:54 remaining. Wilson on to add the extra point. Got a lineman coming out here late. Got to make sure they block for him. Every one of these points is important.
Yeah, it's a 4-quarter game against North Vermillion. Lutheran had them down last week, and they came back with a they can score quick too.
There's a snap. It's good. Kick is up, and it's going to be good. So Wilson adds another extra point with 5:54 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. It's Linton 28, North Vermillion 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Welcome back to Roy Williams Field. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Elliott Insurance on Main Street in downtown Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miners sponsor. Elliott Insurance says go Miners. Also brought to you in part by Sportsman's Pub on Main Street in Linton, offering steaks, seafood, and salads. Dine in or carry out at Sportsman's Pub in downtown Linton. Wilson gets ready to kick off again here for the Miners. 28-7 is the lead. Wilson approaches the football. He's going to kick it line drive style to the far side of the field, taking there at about the 20. Up the sideline and going to be met. No, he spins back out of it. Still on his feet. Now he's brought down. Good tackle there short of the 30-yard line.
Well, that could have been Corbin 27 or Howard number 52. I believe that was Vaughn Depew again, 42, that carried the ball.
So the ball's going to be marked short of the 30. So the Miner kickoff team, another good job that time, holding him inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. 3 wide receivers near, 1 to the far. Earl joins right in the backfield. Now we get, I thought I heard a whistle, but Wright waits for the snap. Takes it. Now they're going to throw a quick pitch out to Earl right there to greet him, but missing the tackle. Now two more Miners. They miss again. They're not going to miss the third time.
Avery Gentry makes sure of it, but the Miners are getting there, and that's what I like to see.
So the ball is going to be for another loss back to the 20, about the 23-yard line. So a loss of 6, going to bring up a second down and 16.
Yeah, the Miners are just being able to corral to the ball. And
now the Miners trying to get some subs on the field here, and somebody trying to get out quickly. They're able to do so. And we're going to get it. No, we tried to take a timeout. Did they get it? Yeah, they did get it. Boy, that was close. The Miners defense was not set that time. And they're fortunate to get a timeout there. Pierce Jackson was motioning timeout. The coaching staff gets it from the sideline. So with 5:12 left here in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top, 28-7.
Well, and you think about it, too. We fumbled at the half-yard line. That could have been another touchdown that could have been on the board. But the Miner offense, a different beast tonight, Darren, than we've seen. Not than we've not seen, but than we saw in Week 4. Tyler now with 80 yards on 7 carries, 3 rushing touchdowns. But the pass play has worked real well, too. All 3 passes to Jacob Clothier for 55 yards.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Linton Veterinary Hospital and Dr. Whitman, treating all creatures big and small. Dr. Whitman is located next to CVS in Linton and says, go Miners. Also brought to you by Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance, Becky, Erica, Gene, or Gordon. Go Miners from Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Going to look to throw. Nobody open. Now he's going to fire it over the middle. He has Earl at about the 45. Down to the 40, the 35, the 30, 30, 25, 20. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds by Tyler Muir inside the 10-yard line. And a big play as Wright finds Earl out of the backfield.
Straight up the middle. And I'd heard Coach Lorig down there talking about it. And you just cannot count these Falcons out at any point. The Miners have always got to stay focused. He made a great one-handed catch. Reached his hand out there, made the catch, and that is a huge play for a team that was looking at being down now by 3 scores.
All the way down to the 2-yard line. First and goal. So a big play. The Miners did not need that with that 28-7 lead. And like you said, a team on the ropes. And now all of a sudden they're knocking on the door to make it a 2-score game.
75-yard pass play.
Wright takes it, going to keep it himself, rolls out right, fires the pass, and it's going to be incomplete in the back of the end zone. So it'll be second down and goal now from the 2.
Intended for Depew, number 42, and he was on the ground. I don't think the ball got to him. Second and goal.
Try one more time. I'm sure with the score being what it is, there's no doubt this is 4-down territory.
No question about it.
Scoreboard, all of a sudden, now they get it corrected. It actually had put up points as 13 like he had scored there.
Yeah.
So Wright waits for the snap. He's going to send the runner in motion. Now they got movement. Yeah, I started to say, the referee's a little late with the flag, but indeed it's going to be a false start. So that'll back them up 5 yards. That helps out a little bit as it'll become second goal from the 7.
Well, the Miners have done a great job against the running game. It's the passing game that's got us a couple of times.
Miners send in some different personnel for the play here as the Falcons look over to the sideline for their coaching staff. They've got 3 guys that give different signals to the players.
And last week I noticed when we had a 6-man front, we saw one of the Miners drop down. I believe that's Avery Gentry that's dropped down at the nose tackle position, 31. Now he bounces back out.
Empty backfield for Wright this time. Takes the snap, looks to throw, looks to the near side. Pressure coming.
Oh, we had
the
him.
tackle. He's down to the 5, and he's all the way into the end zone.
Had him in the backfield for a sack. He gets away from Trent and Figley and scores. You cannot let that happen. You got him. You got to bring him down.
Got to make sure tackles. And, boy, they had him that time for a loss. He gets away, and Wright takes it in from 7 yards and makes it a 28-13 game here with 4:46 left in the first half.
Oh, you just hate to see that because you made a great defensive play, and that would have been a great defensive stand. That would have put them in a 4th and goal from a long way out.
Pena-Zorzano on for the extra point. Takes a snap. It's up, and it's blocked by the Miners.
22, I believe. That's Kendall Williams.
The Miners are called for offsides. So they'll get another opportunity to kick it, or maybe when they move it forward, they might actually go for 2 from a yard out.
Yep.
So the Miners maybe that's why they were able to get in there.
Could be. He got in there with his right arm and able to get back there. And Boy, I don't know if you're North Vermillion, you want to start chasing points this early in the contest.
So offsides on the Miners, and they'll retry it from a yard closer, yard and a half closer.
Oh,
and maybe that gets it in the back of his head here on the kick.
Got to rush it maybe a little bit.
So Zorzano lines up again. They wait for the snap. It's good. The kick is up, and it's going to be good. So with 4:46 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, North Vermillion has cut the lead down to 28-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Ranger XP 900s and Crew 900s come with a free 3-year extended warranty and big cash rebates. Sportsman ATVs come with a free winch. Get these great deals and more during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
And back once again at Linton High School. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Goodman Heating and Cooling. Monty Goodman, your local Ream dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating for a free estimate.
Watch this onside kick situation. They've got some momentum going. That was a 4-play, 71-yard drive, but 75 of that, so it can't be a 71-yard drive. 75 of that came on a pass play.
They had a loss on the first play.
Yeah, 6-yard loss.
So the loss, let it be a 75-yard play, even though it was a 71-yard drive. There's a ball up on the tee here. So the Miners hopefully get it back here. There it is, a squib kick up over the middle. It takes a nice high bounce. Fielded by the Miners at the 32-yard line, looking for running room out over the 35, near the 40. See who it was that fielded that for the Miners.
Cox, number 4, made the play. But, boy, that's perfect. That took a nice high bounce
for them, but they were able to get down and cover it. But fortunately for the Miners, they're able to come up with it. So they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 38. Dan, this is a big drive.
I think you were right on the nose here. This is how you answer that big play by North Vermillion. You don't want to give them the ball back.
Well, we received the kick to start the second half, so if we can put together a nice 4-minute drive here and put points on the board, that'd be very big heading into halftime. Tyler takes the snap, going to hand it off to Mason, headed to the left side, looking for running room, gets it out over the 40, near the 43-yard line. The clock keeps running.
Keeps it inside, and he's dropped over there by the 2 linebackers, Bukas, and, of course, the outside backer is Jacob Earl, number 22.
So they spot it at the 43, a pick up a 5, make it 2nd down and 5.
Well, you'll take a 5-yard gain every time you want. That's 56 yards now by the Blue Mule, as he likes to be referred to. Garrett Mason.
Clothier to the near side. Miners in their regular set. In motion is Jackson. They fake the handoff. Tyler takes it up the middle, gets it out to the 45.
We got a number of them standing around.
He ran into a whole lot of guys there. Ran into number 68. That is a sophomore, Braxton Carson.
So it's at the 45 and a big 3rd down and 3 play coming up here for the Miners.
Well, this is really a big play for the Miners. You do not want to have to punt the ball.
Clothier comes to the near side. Eberhard on the right wing. Jackson on the left. Tyler up under center. We've not seen this a lot. Now he backs up. Back out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Now he's going to come to the right side. Some kind of a weird delay play there. He's going to be short of the 1st down. I'm not sure what happened there.
Nobody ran in the backfield at all. I'm not sure what was going on.
The ball was snapped and both sides kind of just stood there. Now it's 4th and 1 for the Miners. The players want to go for it, obviously, but I don't know if you can afford to.
You give them the ball right back on your side of the field. Look at the coaches. They don't look like they're going for the kick.
3:08 to go, and you know what the North Vermillion coaches are saying, don't jump off sides.
Yeah. Boy, this is a huge moment. If you turn around and give them the ball back on your side of the turf, again, this is from the shotgun.
Tyler takes the snap up the middle to Mason. He's greeted at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be short. They're going to give it back to the Falcons.
Well, it burns us. Bukas is right there, number 54, and you're going to let them right back in this contest unless the defense comes to answer here.
So a big stand now for the Miner defense to try to make with 2:52 left in the first half. The Miners up by 2 scores, 28-14, but they just gave the Falcons the ball back at the Miner 47-yard line.
You hate to question any decisions. You just hate to question them, but why not punt that ball?
3 wide receivers far, 1 to the near. Earl with Wright in the backfield. Momentum is shifted here. There's the fake handoff. Going to look to fire, throws it over the middle, and it's over the head of the receiver. He was open.
Weir, number 10, was wide open out there. If Wright was able to put the ball, they'd be looking at red zone area.
Absolutely. 2:47 still left now. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Passing was out there, but I don't think passing could have gotten there to do anything about it.
I don't either. 1 wide receiver near, 2 to the far this time with 2 backs in the backfield. See if they motion 1 out. They do not. They take the snap. They're going to roll out, look to fire to the far sideline. It's caught over there by number 12, Jacob Hill, and he's going to get close to the 1st down.
And that tackle is out there by Kendall Williams, 22, but just a short pass play. And that's 3rd and definitely manageable, and certainly 2-down territory.
To the 38-yard line, going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 here. 2:42 and stopped is the clock. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far.
Weir is wide
Miners
open.
trying to get into the defensive play here. They're going to fake it up the middle. Wright's going to keep it himself. Breaks the tackle. He's at the 30, the 25, still on his feet. Now brought down inside the 25 at about the 22-yard line. And all of a sudden, the momentum in this football game has switched to the Falcons.
Yeah. A big 75-yard touchdown, long pass play turned things around, and then we had him stopped at the 10-7, and he's able to break it and go for the touchdown, and now we go for it on 4th and short and give them a short field, and now they are at the Miner 23, 1st down, and they could go in right before the half.
There's the snap, going to roll out to the near side, looking to throw, finally pressure up the middle, and he's going to throw it away. As Dylan Morris was all over him there. Dylan pumped up, but he able to get rid of it, trying to get it out to Vaughn Depew, but really just trying to get rid of it.
Wright lucky to get away from that ball. That was pure pressure from Dylan Morris.
Wright trying to shake that hit off from Dylan Morris. He took a pretty good lick that time from the backside.
Good job that time by the defensive backfield. He was trying to go short that time.
2nd down and 10. 2 backs in the backfield this time. They may be trying to provide a little extra pressure or a little extra help there. They're going to hand it off to Earl, coming to the near side, turns it up the field, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get it down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, we missed the tackle early. Cox is going to save that touchdown, but they're down in striking zone, and I just can't believe how quickly this game has turned around from a 28-7 score. Now the ball sits at the Miner 9-yard line.
So 1st and goal at the 9. 2:02 and running is the clock. Wright takes the snap, rolls out, now hands it off to Earl, coming back to the left, cuts it up the middle, he's going to walk it into the end zone. 1:54 left now in the 1st half, and North Vermillion is right back into this football game as Jacob Earl takes it in from 9 yards out.
Well, you can't count your eggs before they're hatched, and boy, what better thing, 28-7, and for all purposes, you're thinking the Miners are rolling. The defense has done a great job. We give up a long pass play. That going for it on 4th and short at the 40 is going to haunt us if we lose this contest.
On for the extra point is Pena Zorzano. High snap, gets it down. Kick is going to be no good. So that could be big as we go move forward there. So the kick is no good. So with 1:54 left in the 1st half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 28, North Vermillion 20. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. Linton High School, where tonight's game brought to you in part by Tangle Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. See Linda Goodman at Tangles. Go Miners.
Well, this is huge here now, the Miner offense. I mean, a minute 54 is certainly capable of scoring the ball, but the offense needs to go in on a high note, Darren. We need to go in with a couple of 1st downs. We were rolling there for a while. 28-7. If you got up and went somewhere to get a drink or something, it's 28-20 now.
There's the kick. It's a squibber to the near side of the field. Going to be fielded about the 32-yard line. I think that's Kendall Williams. He's going to head to the left side. Cuts it back up the field. Has it at about the 39 where he's going to be brought down.
Nice effort by him. Zumwalt's going to make the tackle, number 7. Kendall makes something out of nothing.
So the Miners will take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line with 1:45 left in the first half. And I'm not sure. I know North Vermillion used at least one timeout.
Yeah.
So they need to move the football here a little bit. And it'd be really nice to put points on the board.
It sure would.
They do receive the kick to start the second half.
Well, the offense was 3 and out, actually 4 and out last time.
Tyler going to roll out to the far side, looks for running room behind the blockers, has it at the 45 to the 50, down over the
Oh, my gosh.
Flag flies in.
Flag flies in as Tyler goes down.
Got to be on the Miners, I would say, based on where it was thrown.
Unless he got a piece of face mask on that. But golly, if this is another penalty on the Miners, this is huge.
Referees having a conversation at the 45-yard line. It was a nice run. It was good for a first down. And now here's the call. It is indeed holding on the Miners. So they're going to move it from the 45 back to the other 45, so it'll still be a 6-yard pickup.
Well, these penalties are eating us up, Darren. We saw a little bit of this last week, and now we're seeing more of it.
So it'll be 1st down and 4 from the 45-yard line. It erases about a 15-yard run by Tyler. Clothier coming to the near side this time. Clock is stopped. It's running at 1:32. Muir waits for the snap. And now we got in motion coming to the near side is the tight end. And now in motion is Jackson. Going to hand it off up the middle to Mason. He's going to bull ahead, pick up about 3 to the 48-yard line.
Bukas was right there, 54. Those yards getting a little bit harder to get now, out to just the 47-yard line.
3rd down and 2. About 1:03 to go. I'm almost surprised North Vermillion's not taking a timeout here.
So we went from our own 39 to the North Vermillion 45. The penalty was at the 45 and went
on
back
the other side, yes.
So would he have not gotten credit to that 45-yard line?
Yes, he does get credit for that run. Muir going to keep it again, going to that left side. He's going to be tripped up. Actually, that was just 2nd down because that first play was because of the penalty. So now it'll be 3rd down and 3. The clock at 39 and running.
Bukas again now. He's racking up the tackles. Just a yard gain. Here we are at 3rd and
1. 30 seconds left on the clock. The Miners really almost don't have to run a play here if they don't want to. 24, they have to run one more play. Tyler waits for the snap. In motion is Jackson. They're going to fake the handoff up the middle to Mason. They look like they were, and the ball is loose on the field, picked up by Pierce Jackson. He heads around the left side and a big pancake. They threw a flag on that. He knocked him on the ground.
How can you call a flag?
Unbelievable. Just a heck of a block, and they're going to throw a flag on that. I do not understand.
How can you call a flag on that? He hit the kid. The kid's getting up. That's a ridiculous call.
4 seconds left on the clock here as Jackson picked it up and headed the other way. He's ran out of bounds. Call. I'm not sure where he ended up running out of bounds, but there's a flag on the field, and Dylan Morris just buried Devin Brown.
You're not going to let them play the game.
And they call a personal foul.
They call a blow to the head.
That's not, boy, oh boy, I do not. I don't agree with that at all.
That's a weak call. They got out to the 46, so there probably won't be credit for anything.
That was a good hard block.
Oh, I tell you what.
Well, fortunately for the Miners, it's still probably going to be 3rd down, and they can get out of this half here. The ball is going to be spotted at the 31-yard line.
That's just weak. I don't know how you're supposed to do anything about it. It looked like it was a big hit. I'm not going to take away from that. That's 3 penalties for 45 yards, and it's caused the Miners an awful lot of problems. And as you say, 4 seconds. Do you even take a chance?
Yeah, we already just fumbled it on that last play. Tyler's up under center. He is going to take a knee. So at the half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 28, North Vermillion 20. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the halftime show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. once again at Roy Williams Field. I'm Darren Clayton alongside Dan Phillips. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite for Dish Network and packages starting at just $19.99 a month. Plus free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. Mike will even pay $50 on your first bill. That's Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite in Linton. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Hale Automotive, your automotive repair experts in Linton. From routine jobs to major problems and repairs, Hale Automotive will get the job done right and at a price that'll fit your budget. Hale Automotive, 169 Southeast 6th Street in Linton. And we're joined now here at the half by Shane Huffman. And Dan, I'll let you take over.
Boy, Shane, that first half couldn't have been more exciting on both sides of the ball. The Miners able to move the ball early and look to take a commanding 28-7 lead. Then we give up that long pass play. We go for it on 4th and short. That seems to be the bugaboo on us all the time, that 4th and short. All sort ends on a crazy play with that hit to the high head to the hit, which didn't look like a high hit to me. It looked like a good square hit. But tell us about that, how it feels out there in that field tonight.
Up and down right now. I'm kind of at a loss for words there towards the end of the half. That was a tough one to swallow there, but kids are still playing hard. The big plays, North Vermillion's just kind of hit a couple of big plays and had that big 4th down stop, and that's kept them in the game. We've outgained them. Close to 300 yards. They're passing. They've had those 2 big pass plays. So they've got about 170 yards passing. We've got about 290 yards rushing to their 68. So, we've really pounded the ball on the ground to them, at them. But it's been tough to overcome those costly penalties.
Well, the big word momentum is a big thing in high school football and any sport out there. And boy, it seemed like after we drove the length of the field and scored to make it 28-7, the Miner momentum was huge. That pass play just down the middle was devastating, and then we actually had their quarterback right at the 7-yard line for a sack on that 3rd and long. And right now, we're just kind of letting it get out of our hands a little bit. We've squarely let them back in the contest, and they seem to now have a rejuvenated spirit. How big is this first drive of the second half going to be?
It's going to be big. Hopefully that missed extra point there at the end of the half. Our special teams has been doing great. Luke's been pinning them deep with every kickoff that he's put out there, and been real good on the extra points. So, hopefully we can get a big special teams play here on the kickoff and drive the ball down and open the game back up a little bit, and then just prevent the big plays and just keep play that second half. We always play the second half really well.
Yeah.
Be that tough Linton second half team and come out here but you knew North Vermillion wasn't going to go away.
No,
they're a tough team.
Lutheran had them last week down a little bit, and they came back and fought hard. And our passing game has looked pretty good with the Clothier connection. We may have to go to that a little bit more because these last couple of drives seems like defensively they're really coming in on that outside game.
Yeah, they've stopped. And Garrett's a load to bring down. I mean, 4th and 1, and you got Garrett going.
Yeah.
You gotta think he's gonna get it. But they came in and made a really big stop on him, and to do it again, I'm sure the coaches would say, yeah, we'll go for it again, giving him the ball. So.
Well, they typically do go for it around midfield, but that's one of those. If you get the first down, you think. You're making a stance, but unfortunately that gave the ball back to them on the short field, and Earl has picked up steam. We had done a real good job on Earl. I just have him for 37 yards. Like you say, they just have 70 yards. The passing game, a couple of big plays. Injury-wise, what can you say about what's been happening? I know we saw Pierce go out for a couple of plays and then back in. Hopefully there's nothing serious there.
He had a dislocation on his hand. I heard his thumb, I heard his pinky finger, so, but I think he's got it taped back up, and he's back in.
Well, the thumb could be a problem. You try to catch the ball and anything else, but the pinky, you'll live with that for one more day. Other than that, Dylan Morris, a little upset on that last call going off, and I saw Coach Ollie trying to talk to the officials. They didn't seem to really be interested in hearing about it.
No, he's talked to him quite a bit and said, those are, especially being on the sideline, I'm sure Darren, you get a firsthand view of that, and it's one of those where Dylan hits hard, and it's almost like he got a penalty for hitting too hard.
That's exactly right.
This is
right.
football,
Yep.
and that's what happens. And he's a big guy, and he hits you hard, and sometimes that looks a lot worse than what it is.
Yeah.
It's tough. Those are tough.
Well, we got the second half ahead of us, and I'm sure the Miners will make some adjustments. The Falcons got to feel lucky still being in this contest. We fumble at the half-yard line going in for what looks like a score that's again, we're not playing a picture-perfect first half.
We haven't, but, our coaching staff always does a great job at halftime. Confident that they'll get the guys to, regain their composure a little bit, get back to centered, and hopefully that's going on in the locker room. I'm sure it is, and they'll come back out and play just like they always do in that second half, and come out and put this game away, hopefully.
Well, I'm hoping you're correct, Shane. We appreciate you taking the time to come up here, and I know with that side, it's got to feel awesome to look around there. This is really your first experience being on the sideline and seeing this kind of crowd. What do you got to say about the atmosphere and the crowd itself?
It's really amazing, and I'm usually a pretty calm guy. And you mentioned injuries. My right arm's hurting a little bit from thrusting it into the air, so I may have to go left-handed on the rest of the stats. Which as Darren knows, my handwriting, right or left-handed, it's probably not going to make a difference on reading them. So,
well, we appreciate you making the trip over, and hopefully I'll see you down on the field afterwards, and we'll all be smiling and pumping our right arm in the air a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Shane. Shane Huffman coming over to provide us with some insight from the Miners sideline and bring us some statistical information. Tonight's halftime show brought to you in part by Grunman's on 7th Street in Vincennes. Yes, Grunman's has work shoes and boots, but they also have today's styles in dress and casual. Stop in and see their entire lineup at Grunman's on 7th Street in Vincennes. Also want to thank Lions Health and Living Center for sponsoring tonight's game. They offer highly skilled professional staff available 24 hours a day in a comfortable, compassionate environment. Contact Melinda Barnhill for a personal tour, 659-1440. Lions Health and Living Center, a 5-star community. We are worth the drive. Well, Dan, 7 minutes left until the teams come back out, so we'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break, come back with more of the halftime show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. High School, Darren, Clayton, Dan, Phillips, and if you're just tuning in, you missed a heck of a first half. We'll give you a recap. 8:53 to go in the first quarter. The Miners take the lead. Jacob Clothier on a 23-yard pass from Tyler Muir. Luke Wilson adds the extra point. The Miners go on top 7-0. North Vermillion answers quickly. Just a little over 2 minutes later, a pass from Depew from right. I don't have the yardage on that. Pena Zorzano adds the extra point, ties it up at 7. 36-yard pass you got down there.
Yeah.
And we're tied up at 7 apiece with 6:52 to go in the first quarter. The Miners get on the board late in the first quarter with 58 seconds left. Muir goes 37 yards on a run. Wilson adds the extra point. The Miners go on top 14-7. With 8:48 left in the first half, Muir from 23 yards out puts the Miners on top 21-7. And then the Miners again score. 5:54 left in the first half. Muir from 3 yards out, and the Miners looking good at 28-7, and things very much in their favor. But the kickoff goes back to North Vermillion, and Wright finds Earl out of the backfield for a 75-yard pass. It sets him up down in the, in goal-to-goal territory, and the Miners have Wright stopped on a sack, and he's able to break free, and he scores from 7 yards out with 4:46 left in the half and cuts it to a 28-14 Miner lead. And then a minute 54 left after the Miners go for it on a 4th and 1 at the right around midfield, just a little short of midfield, come up short. And North Vermillion able to punch it in again. Earl from 9 yards out. This time, however, something that could be big as we go forward. The kick was no good on the extra point, and the Miners are on top here at the half, 28-20.
Yeah, and that was 2:52 to go in the first half that we had the ball at our own 47 with a 4th and 1, and I know that's our tradition. We kind of go for it on them 4th and shorts around midfield, but you punt the ball down deep, and they've got a long way to go to get score. Instead, they get the ball to actually the Miner 47 and just put that ball in there. And we had done a pretty good job up to that point, Darren, on them. And really looking at the numbers, we've still done a good job. Cody Wright, 9 carries, 32 yards. He's been sacked twice for 6 yards. Earl just 37 yards on 11 carries. They just have 69 yards running the ball. But got us was that pass play. Only 4 of 11 is what Wright. This is a 70% passer. Just 4 of 11, but it's 126 yards. One of those a 36-yard TD to Depew. The other one a 75-yarder to Jacob Earl. Another one to Caleb Stevens for just 6. So they have a total of 195 yards. The Miners kind of have been hitting on all cylinders for the most part. Tyler Muir, I have with 101 yards on 12 carries and 16 that he got there right towards the end there. We get a holding penalty when the play's over. And other than that, Mitch Eberhardt, 5 carries, 43 yards. Garrett Mason, 9 carries, 44 yards. Pierce Jackson, 3 for 14. We've got a fumble in the books as well, which is a crucial one, too. We go back and look. That was at about the 1-yard line. But that's 202 yards of rushing. It's almost 7 yards a carry. Passing the ball, 3 of 5 for 55 has been Tyler Muir. 1 touchdown. That went to Jacob Clothier. Clothier has all 55 yards receiving. He's been the guy targeted to. Pierce has 1 catch defensively. A lot of guys stepping up out there. Keaton Cox, 3 tackles. Wendell Williams with 3. Avery Gentry with 3. This first drive of the second half, Darren, the Miners kind of went in there on an emotional roller coaster there. We were, I tell you, at 28-7, you had to feel pretty comfortable about where you were. Not that I thought for any second North Vermillion's not going to threaten.
Exactly.
But you just didn't expect them to come back this 28-20. And boy, that last play, right before the kneel down, and Pierce able to pick up that ball and run against the grain, and that's
that's the kind of play that sometimes goes for some big yards.
That's the first thing I thought of. He can get out there, and you saw a bone-crushing block, and if they start calling things like that, then if you go down low and try to hit him, Darren, they're going to call you for going for the knees. Dylan is just a hard player. He's a good kid.
Yep,
so he's not going to take a cheap shot on a guy's head. And I got to watch how the rest of this game goes. But this first drive, the second half for both teams, North Vermillion has kind of been able the last 2 Linton drives to kind of get out there and slow down that outside run. But honestly, the penalty is what's really done it to us. We've had enough penalties tonight, chop block and 2 holdings that have eliminated big runs. We've got to come out this first drive and reestablish and move the ball.
Very much so. Update from Monrovia. They lead 23-19, just under 3 minutes in the third quarter.
And whoever wins this game is facing Lafayette Central Catholic. They were up 42-0 over Northfield. So the Knights, as expected, are going to be in the championship game.
Well, the team's back out on the field going through their stretching exercises. What kind of adjustments are going to be made by the coaching staffs for both teams, and can the Miners regain the momentum? Because they definitely had it, and boy, oh boy, like you said, I never thought at any time, boy, this game's over, but you just feel a lot better when you look at the scoreboard and you see 28-7, and you'll feel a lot more comfortable than you do when you look up there and see 28-20.
Especially when we had moved the ball as well as we had and pumped it in there. You just really thought, hey, this game is in our hands right now as long as we don't let up and let something happen. And what happened? Something happened. Second half of tonight's game will be brought to you in part by Asphalt Doctor in Bloomfield. For all your paving, seal coating, striping, and repairs, call the Asphalt Doctor for a free estimate at 327-4446. Also, the Greene County Daily World wishing all area sports teams good luck. Watch your Tuesday paper for the weekly Athlete of the Week announcement. Call Lisa and ask about their current subscription specials. Miners headed to the sideline. They will receive the second half kick, and the last couple of kicks for North Vermillion, they've kind of adapted the same strategy we have. Yeah.
They're not going to kick it to our dangerous return guys. They've squib kicked it. And
they've taken kind of bounces. So if they could get their guy, that front line has got to block. If they get a free shot at somebody, that's something bad getting ready to happen. Also got to feel one of these times they do that, it's going to get picked up by one of these short guys, Cox or Williams, and they can make things happen.
Both very, very capable of picking up some good yards, very much so. See which way the two teams will go. I think that's what the referees headed to this sideline for. The Miners are going to receive which way you want to kick it here. As they
I know this. If you go into the fourth quarter, you'd love to be going into that south end zone, although the north end zone is lined with a whole lot of fans as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see this environment here tonight. A lot of people have been critical of the Miner fans this year on social media, and boy, they've turned out in full force tonight, and hopefully they can be a deciding factor down the stretch here and lead this Miner team over the hump. The 9th try, Dan, and you recapped all those on Gridiron today and went through those and just – and I'm kind of like you. The heartbreaking one to me was the blocked extra point that just felt like almost have been shot, whenever that ball got blocked and ended the game just in a snap.
Because we had scored on one play, and they had to really work for it. And if you were at the game, you know that we kind of dominated that contest. We had a couple turnovers in the end zone, and I know Coach Weber always talked about those. And as we were all talking about the second overtime, bam, it was all over with. And for me, the heartbreaker was Cecina down here at the 1 yard line.
Couldn't
two
punch
chances
that
to get it
in.
And that's as close to as this town exploding as I thought I was ever going to see. And I kind of felt that way a little bit when we were up 28-7. The town was teetering on the edge of hey. But you can't disqualify a solid team. The heart of Jacob Earl and Cody Wright. Those two guys are going to try their best to make plays happen.
They're not the defending state champs for nothing,
no.
And you got to say our team's not here for nothing either. These two teams both deserve to be here, and we'll see what happens as we play out the second half. Brought to you in part tonight by Media 5 Connect. Tired of paying a fortune for a website and maintaining a website? Talk to Media 5 Connect about a website that's affordable to create, affordable to maintain, and offers daily updates to keep your internet marketing fresh and current. Call Keith at 887-0159 and let Media 5 Connect unlock the potential for your business online. And Dan, I don't know if you just watched, but Peña Zorzano just practiced a nice high little 15-yard kick.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but yeah, that'd be the other way they could do it.
Right before they went out there, he put a tee in the ground at the 40-yard line. He just flopped one up in the air. It looked like a lob wedge shot on the golf course that went about 15 yards.
Oh, they'd love to get the ball right off the bat here. That front line, as I look down there, it's a 62. That is
Miners have to be prepared here for anything.
Well, it's Trevor Hill. Trevor Hill's caught a couple of these already.
And there it is. It's that little lob wedge to the near side, and it lands at the 30, and now it's caught there. Eberhardt trying to get to the far side, and he's tripped up. So the Miners will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for their first possession of the second half. And
looked like he may have had something going there, too. He was going to cut back against the grain. I saw a big block there by a Miner on Evan Weir, and I about expected to see a flag come out.
So 1st and 10, the first possession of the second half. Miners are on top by 8. Clothier wide to the far side. Miners look to the sideline for the play.
Well, we need a good first down play. Momentum really feels like it's in North Vermillion's favor right now.
Their fans are stomping the bleachers here. Muir waits for the snap. Figley goes in motion, going to line up on the left side of the formation now. Eberhardt in motion. They're going to give it to Mason up the gut. He's going to be stopped quickly.
Not what you wanted. That's Evan Weir, number 10, that pops him right there. And that inside game that we were so powerful on week 4, he doesn't get any gain at all.
No gain, 2nd down and 10. Ball spotted back to the 36-yard line, and the Miner line going to have to pick it up as North Vermillion starting to take over that line of scrimmage. In motion, Jackson. They're going to fake it. Now Muir going to look to throw. Now he's going to keep it, turns it up the field, gets it out near the 30, stops short of there at about the 29-yard line.
Good pops hit by Hill, number 12, and Bukas, number 10. Bukas 54. And now we got a huge play on a 3rd down.
3rd down and 7 for the Miners. Miners look over to the sideline to get the play. You can probably hear the North Vermillion fans stomping the bleachers here on this side, trying to get their team fired up for this 3rd down play. This is crucial on the first drive.
They are
play
making
clock
some noise.
down to 8. Muir, Eberhard in motion. They fake it to him. Now Tyler going to look to throw. Pressure up the middle. He fires it over the middle. It's incomplete. He just got rid of it. He tried to do it in the neighborhood of Figley.
Yeah.
And
Pressure
now the Miners will have to
guys.
send out the punt unit. 3 and out on the first possession of the second half, and not what the Miners were looking for.
No, and I don't know what's happened. All of a sudden, the Miners just don't seem to have that pizzazz that they had earlier.
Earl goes back deep to return here. I can't imagine this ball gets anywhere near him, and the Miners better block because the last kick got tipped. Williams waits for the snap. It's a pretty good snap. Line drive punt, going to land at about the 50-yard line, rolls forward, and going to get into North Vermillion territory, going to be down to the 39-yard line. And now the Miner defense needs to turn it up a notch, get back to where they were early in the ball game.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 39 as they go 3 and out and give it back to the Falcons.
Well, the offense was doing everything right early, and now the last few possessions have not been able to move the football.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near, 2 backs join right in the backfield. Waits for the snap, takes it, going to roll out to the right, fires the pass out there. It's caught wide open, breaks a tackle, gets it down to the 45 and to the 43 into Miner territory. 1st down on the first play for the Falcons.
Well, that short pass was the play, and I kind of expected to see that to start this game. And that one was right out there in the flat, and then one play there at the Miner 43-yard line.
Miner defense trying to stop the bleeding here.
18-yard pickup.
2 wide receivers near, 2 backs in the backfield with right. Earl is 1. They wait for the snap. There it is. They're going to keep it right on the keeper. Gets it down to the 40. Breaks a tackle down near the 35, about the 37-yard line.
Too big of a gain.
6 yards.
Muir comes up to make the tackle. Fake the ball to right.
2nd and 4, and all of a sudden North Vermillion starting to run through the Miners like we're used to seeing the Miners run through people.
Yeah. And the scary thing is the offense isn't responding right yet.
In motion out of the backfield is Evan Weir. There's the snap. They're going to give it to, they're going to fake it again. Wright keeps it, turns it up at the 30. Down near the 25 where he's hit. It's going to be another 1st down at about the 27.
Well, he's keeping the ball, and we're all diving in on Earl, and T-Pig and Trey Passon are going to make that tackle. But, gosh, it just makes you wonder what's happened.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. 2 wide receivers to each side. Earl with right, low snap. Going to look to pass right side, and it's going to be caught down inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Depew on the catch.
He's on his back when he makes the catch, but it's an 8-yard gain on 1st down. And boy, the Miner defense is on its heels. Something's got to change.
19, 2nd down and 2. There's the snap. Wright looks to throw, comes to the near side, over the middle, picked off maybe. No, it's knocked away. Man. Near interception. Kendall Williams. 3rd down and 2.
Weir was the receiver, but Williams made a nice dive. It looked like he was beat on that play.
Oh, we had a flag there I didn't see. Maybe we get a hold this time on North Vermillion. They're starting to back up. So the Falcons may have committed the penalty there. The Miners have committed a few here in the first half. So this time backing it up. So the ball comes back to the 40 or the 32-yard line rather.
That's about a 13-yard penalty.
So second down's the bad part about it, but at least it backs the ball up. So now the Miner defense needs to take advantage of that. 2nd down at about 14. Wright takes the snap, rolls out to the near side, fires the pass. It's caught over here on the sideline. He's immediately hit, stays in bounds. And that pass is caught by Stevens. He's going to get it down to about the 24-yard line. So picks up about 8. They're going to make it 3rd down and about 7 here, and I'm sure it's going to be 4-down territory.
Yeah, no question about it. Nate, yard gain, what? Is this 3rd down now?
Yep, 3rd down. Wright takes the snap, gives it to Earl up the middle. He's hit immediately.
There you go.
Might have got a yard out of it. Nice tackle by the Miners that time.
I believe that's Avery Gentry, the junior linebacker, makes that hit immediately, and that's going to set up a big
4th down play from the 23-yard line. So this is a big play for the Miner defense. Can they get a stop? 8:06 left in the 3rd quarter. Highcom Security Services scoreboard. It's an 8-point lead trying to get that crowd into it here. It's 4th down and 5. There's the snap. They give it to Earl, going to the right side, looking to head upfield. They got him in the backfield if they can make the tackle, and they do so. They get him out of bounds, and the Miners will take over on downs. Big play by the Miner defense, and maybe that can turn the momentum back in favor of the Miners.
Boy, a 4th down and short for them. I've got this completely screwed up here on my board.
So the ball at the 30 for the Miners as they take over on downs. And now can the offense move this thing down the field and get points on the board? Clothier to the near side. Muir waits for the snap. Jackson in motion. They give it to him. Coming to the outside. Looking for blocks. Turns it upfield to the 36-yard line. Nice pickup on 1st down for Pierce.
We'll take that. Wickens is going to make the tackle. He was led out there by Owen Sparks, but you'll take that. That's about 6-7 yard gain.
Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 37. The ball did come loose, but the official said he was down. Clothier goes to the far side this time.
Jackson just 21 yards, but he's just carried the ball 4 times. The offense, 249 yards total, 194.
2nd down and 3. Maybe a good place for a play-action pass here.
You just would like to get a couple of 1st downs.
Very
much
like so. Miller goes over to the left side of the formation. Now Eberhardt going to take the handoff, going to the left side.
Cut it up.
Cuts it upfield to the 40, the 45, 50, 45, 40.
Oh,
before
my gosh.
He lowers his head and ran out of bounds over on the far side.
Boy, did Wickens take a hit 52. You just wonder if the flag is going to come. If that's not the same type of call.
So the ball spotted at the North Vermillion 40.
Boy, that's what you needed. It was a big run by Mitch Eberhardt, your senior, our leading rusher for the Miners, and it gets down to, what is it, the 40 of North Vermillion?
Down to the 40. 7:01 on the clock. It's stopped right now. The Miners trying to increase a 28-20 lead. Clothier to the near side. Going to move the tide into the near side of the formation. Muir waits for the snap. Takes it. Fakes the handoff to Mason. Rolls out to the left side. Waits on his blocks. Nowhere to go. Spins. And he's going to be brought down inside the 40. Might have got a yard.
Man, he made a yard. That was a tough one right there. Carson, 53, was over there along with Brown, 34.
See if they give him a yard on that. They're going to spot it on the 39-yard line. So 2nd down, 9.
He looked to get outside. Caden Walker was out there, the Miner guard, trying to lead the way. Just a lot of pursuit.
Clothier on the near side. Eberhardt on the right wing. Jackson on the left. Mason in the backfield with Muir out of the shotgun. Waits for the snap. In motion. They give it to Jackson. Coming to the near side. Turns it up the field.
There you go. There you go.
He's going to get it into the end zone. Touchdown, Pierce Jackson.
Pierce makes a great move at about the 35-yard line, a 30-yard line, cuts it inside. Thought he might lose balance. That didn't turn it to the right. The Falcons safety misses the tackle, and boy, did the Miners need that one.
Very much so. Jackson from 39 yards out punches it in with 8:10 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, puts the Miners on top 34-20, and now a big extra point on the Miners side.
Yeah, all of these extra points are big. As we've seen, they've missed one.
Got to keep the lineman out of there and give Luke time to kick it. Snap pretty good. Kick is up and is going to be good. The Miners with 8:10 left in the 3rd quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Back on top 35-20. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Take home the 144 horsepower Razor XP Turbo and get a free 1-year powertrain warranty. And check out the ultimate single-seater, the 60 horsepower Ace 900. financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Going on now.
HiCom. Remember, you have a local option when deciding on a new security system from HiCom and Lions. Shop around. HiCom encourages you to do that. They are that confident in their product, price, and service. Cutting-edge technology that gives you control from your smartphone plus affordability. Now that's worth checking out. Call Derek McKee at HiCom Security Services or go online at callhicom.com.
4 plays, 70 yards there, about a minute and 40 seconds on the clock.
Line drive kick to the far side, fielded at the 30, knocked to the ground, and now some running room out near the 40-yard line where North Vermillion will take over.
32, Alex Certain is going to be the guy that catches that one. And they got fairly decent field position. He's definitely kicking the ball about the 30, but boy, now here's a big series by the Miner defense. We'd love to shut this down. A ball at the 34 of the
39.
39.
So 1st and 10 at the 39. The Miners just took the lead back up to 2 touchdowns. Now can the defense come up with a stop here and give the Miners that momentum back? 3 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. Earl with Wright in the backfield. They're going to take it to Earl. He's tackled in the backfield, but Wright has the football. Breaks a tackle at the 50. Inside the 50 to the 45. Still on his feet to the 40, the 35, the 30, and he's going to score all the way into the end zone. Touchdown right back at you. No flags at 61 yards.
Oh, my goodness. 61-yard run by Wright. And again, the Miners had a crack at him 3 or 4 times.
Dan, I guess that was 6:10, not 5:10 on the clock, because now it's 5:50. So just 20 seconds later, and Wright answers with a 61-yard touchdown run.
Boy, about every time you think the Miners have got the momentum, something like that happens. And that was just a huge play, 61 yards.
5:50 left, so the clock has some bulbs that are burnt out. I thought it was 8:10 on the last score. It was 6:10.
They may go for, they're not going for 2.
And now Pena-Zorzano on to add the extra point. Snap is good, kick in the air, and it is also good. So with 5:50 left in the third quarter on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, right back comes North Vermillion. It's 35-27 in favor of the Miners. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. Again, where tonight's game is brought to you in part by Bobe Switch City, open every Wednesday through Sunday from 4 till 8 with everyday specials. Buy any 14-inch 3-topping pizza and get a 10-inch 1-topping for just $1.99, or buy 3 large, you get a 4th free at Bobe Switch City. And also don't forget $10 Thursdays. A 14-inch pizza with any number of toppings is just $10 every Thursday. That phone number is 659-BOBE.
Well, now the Miner offense has got to answer. They were finally back on the job last series. 8 plays, 31 yards.
So Pena-Zorzano with the kick. He's going to flip it up in the air again. Going to land at about the 30-yard line. Rolls, and the Miners need to get on it. And instead it gets knocked out of bounds by Eberhardt. So the Miners will take over at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that's nice kicks. I mean, they're perfect. They're falling right where you want them to. They take a crazy bounce, and you never know where they would end up at.
So here comes the Miner offense. Once again, on top by 8, but the momentum back to North Vermillion again as it's been back and forth here. Can the Miner offense move it again? Clothier wide to the far side. Miners in their normal set. You can hear the North Vermillion fans on this side. Eberhardt in motion. They give it to him. He stumbles as he goes to the left. Now he turns it upfield and he's stopped back at the 26-yard line. So Maya got back to the line of scrimmage on that.
Evan Weir, number 10, their leading tackler on the year, makes that stop really right about the line of scrimmage. I thought perhaps Mitch would cut it upfield there.
2nd down, 10. Clothier comes to the near side this time. Miners' usual set. Muir waits for the snap. In motion is Jackson. They fake it to Pierce. Tyler keeps it up the middle. It's actually Mason. Garrett Mason. They faked it to Jackson, and Garrett takes it over the 40-yard line out to the 42.
Alex Certain saves a touchdown, and Mason chugged the ball up the middle. The offensive line won that one, and a big first down for the Miners out to the 42. At 60 yards now for Garrett Mason.
Nice run by Garrett. I thought that was Tyler at first coming out of there with it after the fake to Jackson, but a fake to Jackson, a handoff to Garrett. 1st and 10 at the 42 for the Miners. Clothier to the near side. Jackson takes it this time, tries to cut up field and slips and falls. Got back to the line of scrimmage, just lost his footing that time. Not sure he had a lot of room to run, but it'll be 2nd and 10.
Harry Sollers was there pretty quick, and really that's right back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like just the ground went out from underneath him when he tried to make the cut.
Field probably just a little bit damp with the coolness in the air. It's probably gotten damp as the game's progressed here. 2nd down and 10. Clothier to the near side. In motion is Eberhardt. They are going to give it to him to the left side. He gets behind the blockers, turns it upfield, gets it over the 45, out to the 46-yard line. A pickup of about 4. That's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 6 play here for the Miners.
Sollers again from the defensive end, and that ball kind of shuffled around in Mitch's hands. He was behind Caden Walker, the pulling guard, and it's a 3rd and a fairly 6-yard situation. And look at the coaching staff.
They got too many men on the field right now. The Miners need a quick snap. They got something. Yeah, well, snap the ball. Now we got a timeout, I bet, on North Vermillion. Now they take a timeout.
How is that not offsides if the guy's running on your side?
True that. I thought they had to have. They can't. Yeah, so I don't know.
It looked to me like 34 was on the Miner side of the field. Bless him. He was trucking, trying to get off the field.
But you're right. He was over the. I'm not sure how that works. I know if you go up there and line up in the neutral zone, they can call it a penalty. And that guy clearly came over into Miner territory.
When I think about that, that's 5 yards. That would have made this 3rd and short. Boy, this
just a huge play here on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you're getting to this point in the game where every play is going to be huge. North Vermillion has made a couple of big plays that we just haven't seen happen against the Miners. Missed tackles. Hats off to Cody Wright. That's going to give him some pretty good yards. 109 yards for the senior quarterback.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Kramer's Tree Service in Linton. For all your residential and commercial tree needs, plus stump grinding and free estimates. Good luck, Miners, from Kramer's Tree Service. So the Miners, a big 3rd and 6 here from the 46-yard line. They got to get it over midfield for the 1st down. Clothier to the near side. Tyler takes the snap, spins out to the left, going to keep it himself, turns it upfield, he's hit, gets it to the 50, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down.
Oh, he's across the 50 to this ref.
Yeah, but he's got to get to about the 48, and I don't think he got to the 48.
Well, here's a tough call. They're going to punt now.
This time they bring Kendall Williams out. The ball spotted right at midfield, so a pickup of 4, and it's going to be 4th and 2. Maybe the Miners try to draw him off as Earl heads back to return the punt. Kendall Williams back to do the punting. 3:19 and running is the clock. Snaps a little low. Kick is away. Got a good one away this time to the far side. And it takes a Miner bounce. Going to end up, I believe, inside the 20-yard line at about the 19. So a nice job by Kendall to pin him back at the 20. Now the Miner defense has to answer the call this time.
They do, because we gave up a 61-yarder. 3:06 on the clock.
1st and 10 at the 19, 3:06 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Miners holding on to a 35-27 lead. Earl with Wright in the backfield. 2 wide receivers near, 2 to the far. Wright takes the snap, looks to throw, fires it out to the right side. It's caught out there. Miners there to greet the receiver as he runs out of bounds.
That'd be Hill, number 12, makes that catch. And they're just doing the quick out, gaining about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Passon was out there to make the tackle.
So they're going to spot that at about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 4, going to make it 2nd down and 6. 3 receivers to the near side this time, 1 to the far. Earl with Wright in the backfield. Miners need a defensive stop here. Wright waits for the snap, takes it, gives it to Earl, or does he fake it this time?
Earl
has it. He's going to be stopped quickly. Might have got a yard out of it.
Figley, number 5, and 55, Caden Walker, who's getting some action at defensive end.
Actually, may have backed him up a yard. They're going to mark it at the 22, so a yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 7 here for the Miner defense. They need that crowd behind them on this play.
Keaton Cox got the hands in the air calling for it. The Miners need to not give Wright any time.
3 wide receivers near, 1 to the far. Earl with right in the backfield. They're talking things over. Waits for the snap, gets it. Looks to throw, still looking, now fires it deep down the field, and he's going to overthrow the receiver, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I tell you what, Darren, that is, I know you weren't at the North Vermillion game in week 4, but that was the exact play they ran, and they called Mitch Eberhardt for a penalty, a holding, and a pass interference gave them the ball, but he was right with them that time. I believe that was Eberhardt. Maybe, no, it can't be Eberhardt.
No, he's not.
That's passing 25.
Or not Gunner, Trey passing, rather.
You're going back a few years.
Going back, yep. 4th and 7 now. Shirley North Vermillion going to punt this football back to the Miners as Cox and Muir fall back. Do have a final, Dan. Lafayette Central Catholic 45-6 winners, so they advance to the state championship, where the winner of this game will be there to take them on next Friday night. There's the snap. Kick is away. It comes to the near side, nice and high.
Oh, it's going to be over his head.
And it's going to bounce and takes a good North Vermillion bounce. We're going to get it about the 37-yard line if this referee will see where he spots it. And it's going to be the 36 is where he's going to call it. So the Miners will take back over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line, leading 35-27 with 1:41 left in the 3rd quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Now, big possession for the Miner offense. Try to get this back to a 2-score game.
Yeah, you feel a lot better. I mean, you feel better that it's an 8-point game. At least that's going to force him at some point to have to go for 2. Just a good job by the defense that time around. Now, the offense just needs to move the ball down the field.
Clothier to the far side, out wide. In motion, Eberhardt. They give it to him. No, they fake it to him. Tyler keeps it up the middle, gets it in over the 40, out to the 41-yard line.
Good hard running. That was a lot like the week 4 one drive that time. Wickens, 52 from the defensive end, makes the stop. But that's a good 6-7-yard gain out to the 41-yard line.
They're going to give him 5, make it 2nd down and 5 for the Miners. Clothier stays wide to the left. Eberhardt on the right wing. Jackson on the left. Mason in the backfield with Muir, down to 1:12 and running on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. In motion is Eberhardt. Nearly falls down. They give it to him going to the left side. Turns it up the field. Gets it to the 45, out over the 50-yard line and into North Vermillion territory. Almost stumbled right out of the gate.
Yeah, he's done that a couple times. Weir is going to make the tackle, number 10, but just got it by a shoestring at the North Vermillion 48-yard line. That's 81 yards now for the senior running back, Mitch Eberhardt.
1st and 10 for the Miners at the North Vermillion 48.
Tell you what's interesting, we had some success with that pass early, but we've not gone back to it.
You wonder if it's just trying to set them up. Of course, out here you got a great athlete in Cody Wright that's picking up
that's
Clothier.
true too.
Bringing the tight end to the right side of the formation. That's Figley. In motion is Jackson. They're going to give it to Pierce. Coming to the right side. Turns it up. Going to be stopped short of the 45 at the 46-yard line.
Buchhaus, number 54. You heard in the pregame interview with Coach Crabtree that he didn't expect Buchhaus to play even a linebacker. Corey Davis, one of their great athletes, went down with an ACL injury. And he'd been in there. Boy, and he was big against us, and he's got a lot of tackles tonight.
Clothier goes out to the far side as the Miners look to the sideline for the play. They'll have to run one more play. The game clock and the play clock are close, but the Miners do indeed have to run a play here. In motion is Eberhardt, and the snap nearly fumbled up the middle to Mason. He's got some running room out to the left side, turns it up the field. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, before he's finally ran out of bounds over there. No flags on the field.
Well, that time Garrett went north and south and then decided to go east and west and almost went down that sideline.
Now, wait a minute. They are holding the chains. There is a flag on the play, and the referees, or is there not? The flags, why are we holding the chains here? Maybe it's just because it's the end of the quarter and they're holding them because it doesn't matter. They'll just figure out where the ball is. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 35, North Vermillion 27. Back with the 4th quarter in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Take home the 144 horsepower Razor XP Turbo and get a free 1-year powertrain warranty. And check out the ultimate single-seater, the 60 horsepower Ace 900. Financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Going on now.
Back once again at Roy Williams Field, where tonight's game is brought to you in part by Baszler's Market in Linton, featuring great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners. So the Miners will have it 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Need to turn this into 7 points, Dan.
Big time need.
So the Miners come out. We'll let you know that tonight's game brought to you in part by Linton Family Pharmacy, now offering several kinds of vaccinations. Call to learn more. Linton Pharmacy, a proud Miner supporter. See them at lintonrx.com.
Yeah, you got to punch this in. You're in the fourth quarter now. You've made a nice drive down the field from the 36-yard line. You're coming off a 30-yard run by Garrett Mason. He now has 90 yards.
Muir going to keep it. Looks for running room on the left side. Might have got it over the 15 down to the 14. We'll see where they put it down here as we're just underway in the fourth quarter. Miners on top by 8. They have the football driving.
Braxton Carson, a sophomore. He's a kid that didn't play in that first game against us. He's been playing defensive tackle. He is 225 pounds and basically gets 1 yard out of that.
So they mark it at the 15, 2nd down and 9. Clothier to the far side of the field. Miners going right to left. In motion is Jackson. They fake it to him. No, they give it to him. Pierce looking for running room. Turns it up the field.
He drops. Oh, boy, I thought he lost the ball.
And he's going to be stopped. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage there. Maybe a yard. 3rd down, a big 3rd down play here coming up for the Miner offense.
Sollers, 85, got out there along with another Falcon. And
I don't think they're going to give him, yeah, they got it down to the 14, I think. So we'll give him a yard on our stats, I think. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 14-yard line. Got to think it's 4-down territory here. I mean, I don't think they're quite into Luke's range.
No, that's.
I mean, that'd be a great thing to be able to put 3 more points on the board here, but I just don't think they're quite there right now.
Yeah, you're talking 32 yards from the 15-yard line.
Clothier to the far side. In motion is Jackson. They give it to Pierce. He turns it up the field and
oh boy,
going to be stopped. Might have got it down to about the 12 or 13-yard line. We'll see where they put it, and it's going to bring up a 4th down play here for the Miners.
Wickinson Bookhouse again make that tackle, and he gingerly ran up there, and we're in a. Boy, this is big here. Now we're at the 10-yard line.
Put it at the 10, so it's 4th down and 4 for the Miners from the 10-yard line. Players looking over to the sideline for the play from the coaching staff. The cards held in the air by the 3 coaches. The number comes out from the other coach. Clothier lines up to the near side. Play clock at 7. Tyler takes the snap, spins, comes to the left side, turns it up the field. He has the first down. Touchdown, Tyler Muir. Took a spin, came to the left side, tucked it up and turned up the middle and takes it into the end zone from 10 yards out. And with 9:56 left here in the ball game, the Miners back on top by 14 and a big extra point pending here from Luke Wilson.
I'll imagine anybody who had the speakers close to their ear just now got a heavy dose of not only Darren and I, but everybody in the booth. Comments ranging from how did Tyler get through that wall of Falcon defenders.
Wilson for the extra point. Snap is a little high. Hold down. Kick is good. It just barely snuck over the crossbar. And with 9:56 left in the ball game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 42, North Vermillion 27. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Go! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Back at Linton High School, tonight's game brought to you in part by Sullivan Automotive Group with 7 franchises under one roof. Highway 41 in Sullivan, home of the 6 days a week service department.
The Miners have rushed for 363 yards tonight against the Falcons. Very evenly dispersed. 125 from Tyler, 90 from Garrett, 81 from Mitch, and 67 from Pierce.
Wilson gets ready for the kickoff. Once again, special teams big here. Miners on top by 15. The kick is towards the far side of the field. Going to be picked up at about the 20-yard line. Looking for running room. Nearly falls down. That's
nice tackle.
And he's going to be brought down right around the 20-yard line. Good coverage by the Miner kick team.
Avery Gentry, number 31, gets down there to make the sure tackle right about where he got the ball.
They're going to spot it at about the 22-yard line now. Can the Miner defense come up with a stop here and keep this as a 2-score game?
Well,
North Vermillion showing the ability to have big plays. So
well, the last time we scored, the very next play was a 61-yard keeper by Wright.
2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far, 2 backs in the backfield. Wright takes the snap. It's low. It's loose on the ground. The Miners, looks like the Miners may have it. First down, Linton.
Here's
See who
Jackson
got that.
either Jackson or Figley. Oh, my gosh.
So the Miners get the ball back. 9:47 left here in the ball game, and they have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. What a big play. A low snap that was bobbled by Wright. The Miners on top of it.
Oh, that's a humongous error. And you think about it, they had that error earlier in the game. Well, this could put, well, I'm not going to say it.
We've not thrown the ball for a while. You wonder if the Miners don't look to.
Well, I also think we're wanting to eat some of that clock up. The ball at the 19-yard line.
Very true on the clock part. In motion. They're going to give it up the middle to Mason. He's going to get it down to the 15-yard line.
Turns hard again, and whatever happens tonight, nice effort by Drew Buchhaus, number 54, a junior. Both Weir and Buchhaus coming back next year.
2nd down, 5 for the Miners. Ball down to the 15-yard line. Scoreboard showing it as 2nd down and 6. That's actually what the chains are showing us. So the ball must have been closer to the 21 than it was the 20 when they spotted it. Now you wonder if the Miners don't use that play clock.
Yeah, use it as much as you can, because if you get up another score, you're really talking. You're talking 2 scores.
In motion is Jackson. Tyler takes the snap, gives it to Mason again, lowers his head. He's hit this time, nowhere to go. Now they need to get that whistle blown. They're holding him up there.
Yeah. And no cheap shots there.
No,
I like
not
that.
at all, not at all. So he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 15-yard line. So big play here for the Miners. You know, once again, probably in 4-down territory, but you don't want to get in that position where you got to make it 4 downs. The clock at 8:45 and running.
Well, you got to take advantage of the turnovers. This is do or die for North Vermillion's defense for sure.
Making all kinds of noise over here. Clothier to the near side. Tyler waits for the snap, down to 10 on the play clock. They're looking, they fake it, they go the counter, back the other way, cuts up the field. It's Jackson. He breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Pierce Jackson. 8:23 to go here in the 4th quarter. A nice counter by the Miners. They faked it coming to the near side, countered it right back to Pierce going the other way, and he takes it in with 8:23 left here in the 4th quarter, and the Miners are on top, 48-27.
And it broke a nice arm tackle on the outside, and the Miner fans got to be feeling it right now. The Miner players got to stay within themselves, Darren. Got to stay within themselves.
Wilson on for the extra point. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick up and going to be good. Wilson adds the extra point with 8:23 left in the 4th quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. It's Linton 49, North Vermillion 27. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. Get the gift of horsepower during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. Financing as low as 2.99% and rebates up to $1,500. Ranger XP 900s and Crew 900s come with a free 3-year extended warranty and big cash rebates. Sportsman ATVs come with a free winch. Get these great deals and more during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
High School, the Miners on top 49-27. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Eugene Martin, Public Accountant in Linton. Gene says, best of luck, Miners. We're backing you as always.
2 big turnovers for North Vermillion tonight, Darren. One on that punt that gave us the ball at their 22, and now a fumble that gives us the ball to 19, and we convert. And it's nice for once that we get some of those breaks.
Wilson gets ready to kick off again. Puts the kick in the air. This time comes to the near side. It may go out of bounds. It does so. So North Vermillion will see if they elect to take it at the 35 or if they'll have us re-kick. I think they'll just take it and move forward.
You sure would think so. The 35-yard line is not a bad place to have it.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Welch and Cornett Funeral Homes, congratulating the Miners on another great season and says good luck in the tournament. Also brought to you by Key Associates of Linton and Connie Puckett, located on Main Street, a proud sponsor of the Linton Miners. Key Associates backing the Miners all the way. So they are indeed going to take it at the 35-yard line. And now if you're the Miner defense, you just don't want that big play.
No big
if they have a big 5-minute drive here. I mean, you don't want them to score, but don't let them score quick.
And they've had 3 big plays, a 61-yarder, a 36-yard pass, and a 40-yard pass.
3 wide receivers far, 1 to the near. Earl with right in the backfield. There's the snap, and now we got whistles. And we're going to have a false start, so that'll back them up 5. So that'll put it at the 30, 1st and 15.
Oh, you can hear the Miner faithful on the far side, and when you can hear them that loud on this side, that tells you that they're pumped up.
1st and 15 from the 30.
Yeah, we're seeing Walker coming in now at the defensive end, spelling Mason a little bit, and we see Chance Howard in there at defensive tackle as well. Gives us a little bit more quickness.
A few fresh legs in there. 3 wide receivers far, 1 to the near, looking to throw. Right back, no pressure right now. Now he's pressured. He's going to be sacked. No,
you're
they called it a fumble. Oh, they called it down. It's got to be intentional grounding then, or they're going to say he's down. And he's not getting up.
Oh, hopefully he's
yeah, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but
well, it looked to me like
it had to be grounding if they're calling that, or they're going to call him down. There was nobody near him to throw it to. Anyway, it's a way back loss. The ball's going to go all the way back to the 22-yard line.
So that's going to be a sack for Dylan Morris, and he just shot through there. The official went like this.
Yeah, I thought he said he was calling it incomplete, which, like I said, would have been intentional grounding. Anyway, it's 2nd down and about 22 here.
Oh, just keep them in front of you guys.
Wright takes the snap, going to give it to Earl up the middle, looking for running room. And the Miners need to bring him down. He got out to the 28-yard line.
Boy, you got to admire Jacob Earl, and whatever happens again, this is a kid who's just brought some terrific action to the Falcon faithful, and he broke that first tackle. Just guys fall off of him. Muir is going to be the guy that gets up there that brings him down. He gets out to the 29-yard line, and
3rd down and about 15 for the Falcons here. And you got to think at this point in the game, even though they're way down there, they may have to go for it.
They may have to, yeah.
3 wide receivers far, 1 to the near. Earl and Wright in the backfield. Wright takes the snap, fakes it to Earl, keeps it himself. He runs into his own player, and he's going to be brought down.
He ran into his own player because the Miners were there. Caden Walker, number 55, leads the charge, along with, I think, Pierce Jackson, number 8. Maybe those fresh legs come in there and help him.
They're going to mark it back at the 27-yard line. It's going to be 4th down now with about 6:50 left on the clock. And I can't imagine they'll do anything but go for it here, even though it's 4th down and about 16 or better.
Down by 18 points, or actually
down by 22 points.
Yeah, they've got to go for it.
2 wide receivers to each side. Wright and Earl. Could be the ball game here. Wright takes the snap. Miners looking for pressure. Fires it over the middle, over the head of the receiver. The Miners going to take over on downs.
Intended for Depew, rolled the dice. Trey Passon was out there with him, and I think the Miner fans are feeling it.
Tonight's game brought to you by Shields Hardware in Linton, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs, hardware and plumbing supplies, as well as paint and paint supplies. Shields Hardware says, go Miners. And they have it back, 1st and 10 at the North Vermillion 28-yard line with 6:27 left on the clock. Monrovia has won 37-31, but the Miners have it here in motion, and now we get a whistle, and it's going to be a timeout. North Vermillion will keep it here. 6:27 left in the ball game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners 49, North Vermillion 27, and the Miners with the football. Tonight's game brought to you by Skinner's Towing in Linton, your 24-hour wrecker service, and featuring a secured storage facility. Skinner's Towing says, go Miners. Also, Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop, located at 69 North Main in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's is proud of our Linton Miners and says, good luck tonight. So the Miner offense with the football, 1st and 10 at the North Vermillion 27-yard line, 6:27 to go. And just take care of this football.
Yeah.
North Vermillion just had to use a timeout with the clock stop, so you got to like that part of it.
I think they're telling them that, this is your season. If you have any chance at all.
I mean, you got to double skin that football and hold on to it, because the Falcons are going to be looking to strip that thing away. Tonight's game brought to you by McDonald's in Linton, offering all-day breakfast. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m. Also brought to you by Elliott Insurance on Main Street in downtown Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miner sponsor. Elliott Insurance says, go Miners. So here we go. The Miners back lined up here for the offensive play on 1st and 10. Clothier to the far side. Jackson in motion. They give it to Pierce, going to the right side, looking for running room. Needs to stay in bounds, does so, and gets it down to about the 25-yard line.
That's a senior runner there. He knows not to go out of bounds. It's Jacob Earl, 22, gets out there along with, looks like Wright, number 11, and Weir, number 10.
So 2nd down and 8 for the Miners here. The clock running with 6:07 to go.
Well, we hope, at least I hope, to see Gibson Southern win tomorrow against Indianapolis Chatard. Always want to see the Southern schools do well. They are 30 seniors or so is what I heard down there.
Wow. Clothier to the near side. Eberhardt in motion. They fake it to him. Tyler keeps it. Pounds it ahead, gets it inside the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7. The clock continues to run, 5:36, 5:35.
Yeah, that's what you want more than anything. Again, Weir, number 10, makes that tackle.
49-27, the Miners on top by 22. They look to the sideline for the play. Letting that play clock wind down. It's at 19 and running.
It's like you say, we've yet to throw that ball for a long time and had some success on it. Like you say, though, it's Cody Wright out there. You'd hate to throw a pick.
Muir waits for the snap. Tight end moves to the left side of the formation. Play clock down to 5, down to 4. Now in motion is Eberhardt. They pitch it to him. Looking for running room on the left side. Gets behind his blockers. Turns it up the field. And he goes out of bounds. That's the bad part about that play, is Mitch kept going and ran out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 4:55.
That's not what you want to do. And that was really a tremendous play by Jacob Earl, 22. He just fought off 3 or 4 blockers.
So the ball down to about the 23-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and about 6.
Yeah, we certainly aren't going to try to kick from this area.
So the clock is stopped at 4:55, so you definitely didn't want to see that. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Sportsman's Pub on Main Street in Linton, offering steaks, seafood, and salads. Dine in or carry out. Sportsman's Pub in downtown Linton. 4th down play. In motion is Jackson. They're going to do the counter to Eberhardt this time. Cuts it up the field. Has the 1st down. He's going to put it in the end zone. Mitchell Eberhardt scores from 23 yards out, and the Miners move it up to a 55-27 lead with 4:48 remaining.
Oh my gosh, Darren, do I dare even allow myself to make the thought?
Eberhardt from 23 yards out on the counter play comes to the near side, turns it up, takes it to the end zone, and the Miners 55-27 as Wilson comes in to add the extra point.
Who would have thought 55 points against this Falcon team?
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. The kick is up, and it's going to be another good one. 56-27 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. 4:48 remaining. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. Once again at Roy Williams Field, 4:48 remaining on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top, 56-27. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Linton Veterinary Hospital and Dr. Whitman, treating all creatures big and small. Dr. Whitman is located next to CVS in Linton and says, "Go Miners."
410 yards of rushing by the Miner offense, 5th game in a row with 400 yards. Why pass if you can run for 410 yards?
Very much so. Luke Wilson gets ready to kick off again here. 4:48 remaining. There's the kick. It's going to be to the near side. Going to be fielded at about the 20-yard line. To the near side with it is Depew, and he's going to fall down at about the 35-yard line, and that's where North Vermillion will take over.
And they're going to have to go to the air.
Got to just avoid that big play. 56-27.
Yeah, you just got to feel that they're going to be having no choice. But at this point, you can't have a grinder out series. Very competent.
Wright comes over to the sideline here.
2,000-yard passer.
Put in play, and is he not going back out on the field?
Oh, Earl is at quarterback.
Okay, so a little change here as Wright comes to the sideline. Earl takes the snap, rolls out to the right, going to look to throw. He's hit as he throws down the field, and Passon had a chance to pick it.
Man.
incomplete. Be second down and 10. Now Wright going to come back in.
They've run this play a couple of times. I saw in the stats that he's thrown 2 those and probably not made an exact play. You got to have to figure they're going to throw the ball.
Oh, very much so.
Trey Passon was right there, though.
Yes. Second down and 10 at the 36-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 3 rather to the far side, 1 to the near. Wright and Earl in the backfield. There's the snap. They fake it to Earl. Wright keeps it, turns it upfield. And he's going to be stopped right at about the 40-yard line by a host of Miners.
A bunch of Miners, and he does a lot of jumping around too. Jackson and Muir were there as well, but nice running by Wright on the inside.
Gets it to the 41. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. The clock running at 4:15, and that's the big thing for the Miners.
Yeah.
Keep that clock moving.
The clock can't move quick enough. Gosh.
2 wide receivers each side. There's the snap. Wright looks to throw. Now he's going to tuck it up and keep it, and he's going to be brought down.
That is Avery Gentry, number 31, and Chance Howard, 52.
Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 4th down, and he's a little bit slow to get up, kind of limping back towards the shotgun formation. There. 3:47, and that Miner crowd across the way is really tasting it now, Dan.
They are absolutely
4th down and 5, 41-yard line.
Full throat right now. The Miners, 9 semi-state games, never gotten to the next level.
Here's the snap. Rolls out to the right. Looks to throw. Fires it, and it's
knocked down.
Knocked down, incomplete. The Miners take over, and Dan, Lucas Oil Stadium, I believe, is in our future.
I think it is.
Coach Lorig stopping by on his way out of the press box. Oh. The 9th time is going to be the charm for the Miner football team.
Joe said he's not going to Disneyland, but he's going to Lucas Oil.
Miners take over 1st and 10 at the North Vermillion 41-yard line, 56-27. And I'm like you, Dan. I never dreamed this would be this high of a scoring ball game.
I knew we'd have to have more scoring because both offenses are pretty tough. But, boy, I tell you what, 56 points, something else.
Handoff goes to Pierce Jackson, headed to the right side, turns it up the field, and he's going to be tackled at about the 32-yard line. Nice pickup for Pierce. Don't forget, we still got to keep some stats and stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to soak it in. I mean, it's just.
Oh my.
Weir with another phenomenal tackle, number 10, and he's just a junior, and that ball gets down to the 32-yard line of North Vermillion. Pierce now 94 yards rushing. He's got 94. Eberhard has 106. Muir has 125. And Mason with 94. So terrific four-headed monster performance again tonight.
Clothier to the near side. Muir waits for the snap. In motion is Eberhard. They fake it. They go with the counter back to Jackson. And I think he's going to be held short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 3rd down. The clock runs at 2:37.
Tackle made by Wickens.
Now we get
52.
the clock stopped here. Was that a timeout, or they stop it for a measurement? He may have got farther up the field than I thought.
First down
for the Miners.
That pushes him to 95 yards. And you just got to give credit to the North Vermillion Falcons. Coach Crabtree is a great guy. They are great. They got a great community of people that support them. They're just it's a fun game to play whenever you got this much respect, and I've seen it on the field tonight. Guys helping each other
sure,
up.
absolutely. Muir waits for the snap. Play clock down to 8. Game clock at 2:16, and we give it off this time.
It's Pierce again.
Going to get it down inside the 25, or right at about the 25-yard line. And Dan, I get a feeling when this game ends that you're going to see a mass of fans on that field quickly, and a lot of emotion tonight, because I've seen a lot of former players, a lot of guys that got a chance to play in this game, along the sideline tonight. And
it's going to be it's a realization of a life. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm so thankful that I get to experience this moment.
Very much so.
And while we got time, I can finally say it feeling good. I will be playing tonight at the J7 Sports Bar Grill. My gear's set up, it's ready to roll, and I'm feeling pretty good that we are going to have a celebration tonight.
Well, I wish I could hang around. I got to head back to B-Town, but everybody needs to come out and hang out with Big D at J7. If you've not heard him play before, very talented and very much worth the trip. And the Miners get it down to about a 3rd and 1 here with 1:13 and counting, and the players starting to do a little high-fiving out there.
And they faced some adversity. I mean, boy, we were up 28-7, and you thought, okay. I mean, my inside was saying, hey, we've got this game. But my brain, which has been around a few semi-state games, wasn't going to allow it. And they answered the bell again this week.
3rd down and 1 here for the Miners. Game clock at 44. If they can get a first down here, that'll definitely just run it out. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Still on his feet. Is that Garrett on the carry? No, Mitch is right there. Yeah. So that handoff went to Mason up the middle of the Miners.
Listen to the crowd.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure the mic is picking that up. The roar from the other side.
Moly.
The game clock is at 24. Let's see if the referee waits to spot it here after it gets under 20.
Well, Mason has 90.
And he does wind the clock. The Miners don't have to snap it again. It's time to celebrate in Linton. The Miners are headed to Lucas Oil Stadium.
They've done what no other Miner team has done, and that's finally break over that bridge. Unbelievable.
Celebration at midfield for the Miners, and you see Mitch Eberhardt finding the players. Making it a point to let these guys know that, hey, much respect. The fans starting to make their way out onto the field as the players line up for handshakes here, and now you just hope nothing silly happens. I mean, and I don't think it will, but you just got to kind of halfway hold your breath that nothing crazy happens down on the field.
Yeah, if this was any other team that we have such bitter rivalries with, somebody'd smart off. But
I don't think you're going to get it tonight. But you know, when you put fans out there in the middle in an emotional situation, you kind of hold your breath a little bit. The player line is moving along just fine.
A lot of respect.
Very much so. Dylan Morris leading the way down through here, shaking hands with people.
Oh, listen to that! God, is that an awesome sound?
That is a great sound right there. And the Miners will play on the Friday after Thanksgiving for the first time after started in 1986, Dan's when it really started. We got our fireworks going off again tonight. So 1986 was that first opportunity. It's been 8.
Well, I got to get that wireless mic and get out there.
Dan going to go down on the field and provide you with some interviews with the coaches and players from right down on the field. While he gets ready to do that, we'll take a 2-minute break. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. I'm Darren, Clayton. Dan getting down on the field trying to find some people to interview. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance, Becky, Erica, Gene, or Gordon. Go Miners from Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years. Trying to make sure I keep my eye on Dan here as he looks for players and coaches to interview here. Finding his way around. Let you know that tonight's game also brought to you in part by Goodman Heating and Cooling. Monty Goodman, your local Rheem dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating for a free estimate. Dan trying to find players and that mass of people out on the field here as the Miner fans have joined the crowd out on the field here to celebrate the Miners semi-state championship. And Dan's just kind of on the outside trying to get around here. And as soon as he gets a player, we'll get it down to him. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Tangle Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. See Linda Goodman at Tangles. Go Miners. I'm going to shoot it down to Dan here and see what he's got for us.
Well, Darren, I don't even know what to say as I'm standing out here now. It's going to be something to try to get one of these guys to talk. But, golly, there are tears all over the place out here. Players hugging players. Coach Lorig, Ian Fonseca was just wrapped in his arms like almost like a little kid. I run into probably 6 alumni already, guys I play with. They're just smiles from one end to the other. I don't know if you can hear it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We'll keep going back and keeping an eye out for Dan here as he's down on the field waiting to get players and coaches for interviews.
Well, I don't know what else you can say about it, Darren. You know, it's something that the Miner faithful have wished for a long time, and now the opportunity to go up to the Lucas Oil. It's unbelievable. But just the fact we finally got over that hump. The one thing people said Linton could never do is get to the state final game, and now they finally have proven some doubters and won in convincing fashion. So I'm going to try to infiltrate if I can. I believe I got Eric Wilson said he's going to go up there and sit down and talk to you a little bit. I think he's up there. He's up there, so I'll let you guys talk, and hopefully I can raggle somebody around me.
All right, tonight's game brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite for Dish Network and packages starting at just $19.99 a month, plus free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. Mike will even pay $50 on your first bill. Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite.
Oh, man.
Trying to keep an eye out for Dan down there. He's just a big mass of people out on the field, and Dr. Wilson up here, and I hear Dan, but I'm trying to wait for him to grab a hold of a player here.
Killed in there.
Trying to be careful to make sure. Try to keep his mic open and go ahead and throw a microphone here on Dr. Eric Wilson, the team doctor, and his son Luke, a big part of this team, and what they've been able to do this year, kicking extra points. And Doc, you got to feel pretty proud. I mean, you were on the first sectional championship team back in 1984, and it's got to feel pretty good to watch this team do what it's done tonight.
It's just awesome. I just told Dr. Ridge, my cohort down there, you know, he's been waiting 40 years to see this, and about 35 for me. And I'm just almost speechless. Such a wonderful thing. The community's come together. The players, you know, have just really accomplished an outstanding task here tonight.
Yeah, just a lot of emotion. I can see it from you, and I know it's down there on the field, too. I can't wait to get that raw emotion from Dan when he gets a chance to interview these players. And, you know, think back to your playing days and the feeling you had winning that. Like I said, it was the first sectional at that time that the school had won. Now this is the first state championship, and to have your son being a part of it, talk about that feeling.
Well, it's just a dream come true. You know, it's to watch all these kids, and not just my son Luke, but I coached these kids when they were in Little League along with others. And, you know, we were all gunning for this 10, 12 years ago. And so now it all has come together tonight.
I didn't feel good about saying nothing until we were up 1 point.
Trying to wait there to hear Dan and make sure we get. Do you even see him out there in that mass of people?
No, it's such a sea of people.
Yeah,
but I heard
it really
his voice.
is. I hear his voice. So I'm trying to keep his mic open. He has no way of hearing me, so I'm trying to make sure he's talking to people that, you know, not about things we don't want to go on the air or anything. But,
yes. Darren, I don't think I recall ever seeing so many people in this.
I agree, and I really, you know, the crowd took a lot of criticism throughout the course of the year for not turning out for games, whether it was they didn't want to watch blowouts or what it was.
Those guys. Well, if I was able to get Coach Carazia, athletic director Carazia, Charlie, to most of us, as we look over to the sideline there, Coach, you've been here a long time, brother. I've been here a long time too, but how does this make you feel to finally see the Miners get over that hump?
39 years I've been here, and we've had some really good teams. You know, we've been here 9 times in semi-state, and finally we get over that hump, like you said, today. And it's just like there's so many times we should have won, but it just wasn't in the cards. For these kids right here, the way they played and the adversity they had in the first half, going up big and all of a sudden 28-20 at halftime, and then coming out and just destroying North Vermillion, who's an excellent ball team. On there, I mean, you can't give these kids and coaches enough credit. They are a family. There's no doubt about it.
How big is this for the city of Linton? I mean, as I walk through here, I'm alumni crying, people arm in arm. How big is this? I mean, this is what you strive for just to get there. Now we got to play, Lafayette Central Catholic. We'll worry about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't worry about that. If you take a look before the ball game, there was a lot of ex-players that were lined up over there, and it gave me chills to see a lot of these guys that were played for me and were on our team. But there's it's a family atmosphere, and and everybody is so happy. There wasn't one person that has any jealous bone in their body that these guys that wanted nobody else did, because they deserve it. And because they deserve it, we get that satisfaction out of it too. So, but we can't be happier. We're going to go up to Indianapolis on Monday, have our meeting, start selling tickets from 2 to 8 on Monday, and then from 8 to noon on Tuesday. $15 tickets, no reserved seats, just general admission, and I had to get that in. So,
Miner Nation will most certainly represent itself up there, and gosh, you got to feel so happy for these senior kids. I've got to try to find a way to get in there and find them, Coach. I know you're as happy as I am. I know the old man would be loving this. So
absolutely.
I'll send it back up to Darren, and I'll try to find some players.
All right, thanks, Dan. Back up here, Dr. Wilson, kind enough to join us while Dan looks around for people to talk to. And Eric, talk a little bit about what you do on the sideline as far as helping out with the kids and taking care of nagging injuries and things like that, and just exactly what your role is on the sideline.
Well, just keep them healthy, keep them rolling. We've been very fortunate this year. We really have not had any major injuries. Of course, even when things are going well, Dr. Ridge and I are scanning the field every play, making sure everybody gets up. How do they walk? How do they run? Is anybody injured? Is anybody walking funny? Make us think about a concussion or something like that. But like I said, we've been very fortunate this year. Coach Loring said something a couple weeks ago that really resonated with me. He said that to these boys, when you go out in the field, there's a lot of ghosts on that field.
Oh, yeah.
Going back 120 years. And Coach Carazia spoke about it as we came out that tunnel. I don't know how many former players were there. I'm guessing 100. And it was just an awesome thing to see all these guys for the past, 40 years or more come back together to cheer this team on.
Yeah, it is a very nice thing. And then, it is a lot of years and a lot of familiar faces down there, as Coach Carazia said, and just – Dan's just having a heck of a time finding somebody. He just keeps drifting down the field trying to find players and people to talk to, and I know his interviews are going to be great whenever he finally gets to them. And you mentioned concussions, and we've not had, to my knowledge, any this year, but how much has that changed from back in the 80s whenever you played, and how much has that changed over the years?
The guidelines have completely changed. Back then, if you had a concussion, if you were good for 15 minutes, you went back in the game. Now it's pretty much you're benched for about a week.
Yeah.
And the guidelines have entirely changed. The idea of cognitive rest.
Let's go this way.
Yeah, all right. Looks like we're ready to get Coach Lorig
Glad
here.
I caught you. All right, I got the signal from Darren. I was in the middle of all that. I didn't know how I was going to get through it, and lo and behold, I find Coach Joe Lorig. Coach, you got to be offensive line tonight.
I'll tell you, Dan, I am very proud. I'm proud to be associated with them. They're not only good kids and good football players, but they're great people, great parents, always cooperative, not always the easiest routine we go through, but, I've told them before, I said, you go through life, you got to decide you want to be good or you want things easy, and these kids decided they wanted to be good. They've done everything, like Ollie said, that we've asked them to do, and now they're getting the prize for it, and they deserve it.
The adversity, we're up 28-7. You had to feel pretty comfortable about that. Then, bam, the North Vermillion, like a true champion does, refuses to go down. The Wright kid, the Earl kid, come down the field. At halftime, what did you tell the kids? Is we kind of ended on a kind of a tough play before the half.
Basically, what we told them was just, follow your fundamentals. And I told the team, I said, we got to score 8 touchdowns. just score 8 touchdowns. We've done that in the past when Austin Kersey and that bunch was here, kind of set it as a game goal. But you worry about kids letting up. You got to give them a definitive goal to shoot for. I just threw it out there. I just said, go for 8 touchdowns. And, each of the coaches adjusted their kids and talked to their kids, and it wasn't a lot of griping or complaining or anything. We told them all week long, this is a good football team. You play a good football team, these things happen. And, Dan, we showed our experience being in the semi-state before because we knew coming in here we're going to play a good team, and they're a heck of a football team.
How proud do you feel, Joe? You've been coaching a long, long time, my friend, and I know this is your first time heading to Lucas Oil on a team going to play for the state championship. What does that make you feel like?
Right now, I'm awestruck. I can't put it into words. It's I've thought about it. I've thought many times, dreamed that it'd be a heck of a thing to do, but now that it's here, I kind of feel like a kid that's been real good all year, and it's New Year's Eve, or Christmas Eve, and Santa Claus is coming, and that's about the closest I can get. I've been good, and the old man better bring me some toys because that's about as close as
That's a typical Joe Lorigism. If you ever did hear one, I've been real good. I deserve some toys. Joe, I know you're going to have a big week ahead, and you don't have a full week. We won't worry about that task, but I do expect to hear you tonight singing some honky-tonk women for me at the J7. This time you're not going to escape.
Let's see what I can do, Dan. If I got a voice left,
we don't care about voice.
I just got to get through the next 5 minutes. That's all I'm taking it right now.
That's offensive line coach Joe Lorig. We'll send it back to you guys. I'm going to try to get down there and pull some guys out of there, but it's going to be awfully tough to do that. But I got to get Dylan Morris and Pierce Jackson. I got to get some of those guys. So you guys are going to have to talk about the grass or the chalk or how Dr. Wilson needs to give me a new knee or something along those lines, all right?
All right, that's Dan Phillips down on the field. Back up here, tonight's game brought to you in part by Hale Automotive, your automotive repair experts in Linton. From routine jobs to major problems and repairs, Hale Automotive will get the job done right and at a price that'll fit your budget. Hale Automotive, 169 Southeast 6th Street in Linton. Well, as Dan makes his way down into the masses, I'll continue to talk to Dr. Wilson. We appreciate him taking the time to come up here, and I'd welcome him to head back down and join in that celebration anytime he wants to here. I know he wants to be a part of that as well, but I do appreciate him coming up here and taking the time. You were talking about concussions. I probably cut you off a little bit there trying to get down to Dan, so if you had something to finish up there, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no problem, Darren. I mean, that's the focus down what's going on down there. This is just a historic event for our town. And like Joe said, you just awestruck. Can't hardly put it into words. But as far as the concussions, the whole thing is that all the kids go home safe and healthy, whether they're from our team or the other team. And so, yes, the guidelines have changed. Dr. Ridge and I, we stay up on those current guidelines, and we're just always watching. And we're just so thankful that this team has come together this year, and they're still rolling, and they're all healthy.
Yeah, very much so, and we hope to keep them that way throughout this week of practice and get them up there to Lucas Oil Stadium for that big game next week. That's the thing. Everybody's so happy and everything. There is still another game to play, and you want to take that one more step. North Vermillion able to do that last year to win the state championship. So, you get to spend the whole night tonight celebrating, but then it's going to be back to work for the coaching staff and for the kids too next week, and they'll kind of cut into their Thanksgiving, but I'm sure they'll take that sacrifice.
Oh, I'm sure they will. We were supposed to go to New York, and I told my wife, and we both agreed, hey, if we go to state playoffs, we're staying here in Indiana. But, the thing is, the mechanics of this team and how they all function together, yes, this is a huge hurdle. Is it Dan talking?
Yeah, if he's on, I'll get it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not up.
But I think tomorrow morning, yes, the team will celebrate this victory, but tomorrow morning, we have another week.
That's your brother. How you doing?
I don't see him. There's just a mass of people on the field. I know those of you that are watching on LintonMiners.com can see the mass of people down on the field. And Dan, for those of you on the radio, just having a hard time finding players down there in that mass of people. But you were talking about the camaraderie of this team and how they come together.
Yes. It's just we've had several good teams, as you know, over the past several years. But this team, is very special in its own way. The camaraderie, the cohesiveness, the way they all, pull together. And, it was touch and go there in the first quarter.
Oh, very much so.
We didn't know. We had some setbacks. We had some penalties. We had some injuries. But this team keeps on moving forward, and I think a big part of that is their cohesiveness and how they function together, hang together through thick and thin. There's guys down there I haven't seen in 25 years there.
Yeah. I hear Dan, he's still looking for people. He says he's looking for anybody he can get a chance to talk to. And we do want to bring you that emotion from down on the field. Sure, he's trying to find Coach Oliver, Dylan Morris, the other seniors on this ball club, and allow you to hear their thoughts on winning this semi-state game and getting over that hump that the Miners have failed to get over on 8 other occasions. And this just brings a lot to a lot of people.
This is the first time I've had trouble seeing Dylan Morris on the football field.
Very true. And Dan's not small himself out there in the middle of all that. Yeah, I see him stepping.
Well, I was able to grab one guy out of here, and of course it's hard to grab him. Nobody's been able to grab him all night. Tyler Muir, of course, you got to feel pretty dang awesome on what you were able to accomplish tonight.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm trying to take it all in. It's a great feeling. We played great tonight.
You were off to a great start tonight running the ball. You had a big couple of games. You threw a nice pass to Jacob Clothier in the end zone, up 28-7. What's going through your mind?
We got up and we slacked off. We slacked off, and they're a good team. They came back and they got back in the game, and we went into halftime. We were only up by a score. We came out. We knew we had to play hard like we did in the first quarter, so we came out and did it.
When it came back 28-20 at halftime, tell me about the halftime vibe that was happening.
It was crazy in the locker room. Everybody was going nuts. We knew we were up, but we knew it wasn't over. We still had 24 minutes to play, and we came out here and played it.
Now, your dad played. Of course, your brother played. You're a big football fan. Do you have any clue on how big this is for the city of Linton?
I've been told it's great, and it feels great. I can't really explain it right now.
Well, Tyler, so proud of you, of course. I remember you were just a little tyke running around, and, you stayed healthy. I don't know how you stayed healthy with running the ball the way you do. Lafayette Central Catholic coming in. Can you believe that you're playing at the Dome? I mean, you played there before. You were younger, but, this time you're playing for a state championship.
It feels amazing. I can't even believe it. It's hard to believe right now. It feels like a dream. It's a dream come true.
Well, you guys will always go down in history, being the first team to crack over that hump, brother. And you just keep yourself healthy, put in a good work. We'll talk to you next week in Indianapolis.
All right, thank you.
That's Tyler Muir again. I think 125 some odd yards tonight. I know he had 3 touchdowns. He might have had 4. But I really want to try to find Dylan Morris and get him out here. So stick with the guys, and I might try to point at you from the crowd out there.
All right, once again, Dan Phillips just interviewing Tyler Muir, trying to find some other guys. And I look down on the field, and my dad rolling across in his wheelchair trying to head over this direction. I'm sure he's got to be a happy camper. He's been following the minor football team since the 60s and probably seen, he's probably in the top 10 list of people who've seen the most games of people in the area, and I know he's got to be elated for the opportunity to go next week.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I think I can see the smile from here.
Very much so. Of course, he got injured back at the Springs Valley game, and appreciate, what you were able to do for him that night and getting him set up to go to the hospital and get things taken care of. And Dan's got somebody else down there to talk to.
All right. To run right smack into Pierce Jackson, which unfortunately for other running backs, they've had to do that quite a bit. Pierce, you probably run the ball harder than anybody I've seen in Linton in a long, long, long time. And that's tough saying with Garrett Mason, who runs the ball hard. I can see it in your eyes, man. I mean, what does this mean to you? You're the team.
Yeah, it means everything to me, honestly. I mean, I can't put into words how happy I am and how happy I am for the program, for the town. The town really deserved this. And we didn't do it for ourselves. We didn't do it just for us. We did it for all the alumni that came here, failed in the same spot we have, and all the teams.
Coming into tonight, you did a great job on Jacob Earl in the first game. He took that to heart. He wanted to come out and prove something. What do you think about Jacob Earl? I mean, he's a pretty solid running back.
Oh, yeah. Best running back in the state, probably, hands down. I mean, he's great quickness. He's strong. He's thick. I mean, it's great. It's fun to play against him, It's a great time.
How much fun was it tonight when you were up 28-7? Did you allow yourself to think, hey, you probably thought you were going to go anyway, but at 28-7, you had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, we felt good. We were rolling. Started the first half, a few mistakes, but I mean, it was great. We finished it out great.
Overcoming adversity. The last 2 weeks, the Linton team has had to do that. What did you say at halftime as a senior leader? You're one of the captains. Your team kind of going in at 28-7. Next thing you know, it's 28-20, and they're kind of having some big plays. What do you as a captain handle it?
We just went in there. We told them what we need to get done, and we've made some serious adjustments on the defensive line, and told them to keep grinding. We got to keep pounding the ball down the field and keep stopping on defense, contain her like we have been, and make Cody Wright beat us.
We're trying to interrupt us, Pierce. So, Pierce, I know this means a lot to you. Your dad passed away. I knew your dad. He was a heck of a dude. My dad would love this. I have no doubt your dad is shining down on you right now.
I hope so. He is. I hope he's smiling as big as I am right now.
I'm sure he is, brother. Have a good week. And, hey, I'll talk to you at Lucas Oil. That's Pierce Jackson, a minor inside linebacker, leading tackler. And, of course, the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been the man on offense as well. So I've got all of them down. I just got to pull Dylan out of there, and maybe I'll call it a night.
All right, once again, Dan Phillips down on the field getting interviews and still up here with Dr. Wilson. He's joined me to give his perspective on things from concussions to handling things on the sidelines and to the fact that he played back in 1984 when the Miners picked up the first playoff win and the first sectional championship in 1984. And then now his son Luke, the extra point field goal kicker for the Miners, who really does a nice job for him. And just the sheer emotion of all the former players that have played here, and for that matter, the alumni. I mean, I'm very happy myself. So.
Oh, yeah. Just can't really put it into words like we said before. I'm glad I don't do this every Friday night. Because, but, yeah, I entirely agree with you. This is a long time coming, and
I really like the respect that these two teams have for each other. I see a North Vermillion player making his way through the crowd, obviously looking for one of our players to congratulate and probably wish well. And just a class act that they brought with them here. You're down on the sideline, and I don't know if you made your way through the handshake line or if you do that or not, but it seems like the respect that these two teams have for each other is just tremendous.
Yes, it definitely is. I think North Vermillion's a class act team.
That's Bryson Carson, a 6'1 junior that's making his way down through that crowd of minor people. And like I said, just probably looking for, he's a lineman for North Vermillion, probably looking for Dylan Morris or somebody he's blocked against all night that was down in the trenches with him and telling him, hey, go get Lafayette Central Catholic next week. We'll be in your corner.
I'm sure. And, we could brag about all these kids all night, and I hesitate to mention just one because I don't want to single any of them out because they're all really great. But what a great kid, Dylan Morris, what he's brought to the school. And a gentleman, his behavior on the field. I saw him helping, I think the same lineman you're talking about, helped him up after he blocked him down here on the 25 or 30-yard line. And Dylan's a great kid.
Yeah, he really is. And, he got the penalty there just before halftime. He lowered the boom on that kid. And, Dylan does that with no malice. He's just a big boy that hits hard. And then, he put that kid down and got that, I didn't think a warranted flag. And no. I'm sure he felt, he wasn't trying to hurt anybody or anything. He just put a good block on him. And, unfortunately, they got flagged for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. I mean, he's a tremendous kid. I've had him in class. And I got a lot of these guys in class. And I've learned to really like all of them, and then real happy for them. And then as somebody that teaches up here and then has these kids in class, I'm just super elated for them.
Like I said, we could talk all night about each and every one of them.
Oh, there he is. He's got him. All right.
Finally, we had to pull Demo out the middle of that crowd, and boy, this boy is a smiling man. He's a happy man. You're a captain. What does this mean? Dude, you've been a starter since you were a freshman. I can remember walking in the locker room and people saying, this kid is going to be special. This kid's going to be the man for Linton football. How gratifying is this?
Oh, it's amazing. It's everything we've ever wanted for football-wise. I just want to thank, Coach Weber from the get-go, just starting it all out, and Coach Ollie, and all my teammates. They've just done everything, and most of all, God. Without him, we couldn't do anything.
Well, you were up against a team tonight that you were actually bigger than, which we don't normally say. Kudos to the North Vermillion team, but you had to work for everything you got tonight.
Oh, yeah. They're such a quality program. I mean, they came out of nowhere, last year, going undefeated and going to state. And, we just had to take it from them this year.
So you're up 28-7. I've talked to all the guys about it. You're feeling pretty good. The next thing you know, it's 28-20. What are you going into halftime? Of course, the hit. That's as energetic as I've ever seen you. Your thoughts on that hit?
I thought it was completely clean. I cleaned his clock. but the refs see something different, and it happens. But I get 1 or 2 pancakes every game. So
yeah, well, I keep your pancakes, and you're well over 70, and it's pretty brutal. Second half, you come out. What's your mindset when you come out on the football field?
We're gonna beat them. We're gonna roll them. We had full confidence that we weren't gonna let them even come close to us. You might say 7, 6 points, whatever it was, is close. Not for us. We knew we were gonna win.
Well, my next question was, at what point did you really feel like, hey, we're finally going to do it? Because you've been a part now. You played in both Cecina games as well. As a kid, you probably saw the Ritter games here as well. And I've been here 16 years, and so I was never going to say we were in until the end. At what point did you finally feel like, my gosh, we've done it?
The last 4 minutes, definitely, that solidified it. When they fumbled the ball, that's when we knew for sure we were going to win. But, Monday, we weren't cocky by any means. We came into this, we're going to have to work hard. But after watching film and just trusting the coaching staff, we knew we were going to win the whole time.
Dylan, a team that you guys will be talked about for years. You're the first. People talk about the teams that didn't make it. Imagine what they're going to say about you. Your thoughts on going to Lucas Oil?
It's just amazing. We've been there for those North Central games, I think it was. Yeah, and this is just special. It's not just a regular season game. We worked as hard as we could. I finally get to play 15 games. I finally get to end my season. I just can't.
Well, you've been an awesome player for 4 years. It's so great to see you guys smiling like this. The name Demo, of course, always going to go down in history. A huge congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's Dylan Morris celebrating. I'm trying to get him to shake my hand. I don't want to injure him. And he's getting by girls. That's the thing I should do is.
I want to tell you congratulations. My name's Justin Fisher, assistant coach.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. I was one of North Vermillion's assistant coaches. Hey, North Vermillion is an awesome program, and I'd like to see Wright and Earl, classic, Von Depew, great players. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. It has been, brother. Well, I'll try to find Coach Ollie, and if I see somebody else, are you going to sleep for me yet?
All right, Dan Phillips down
there
the field trying to find somebody else. It looks like
just hold on, maybe I can get him right now.
Quickly found Coach Ollie, and he'll get a chance to talk to him and get his emotions.
I don't know
here.
that we're going to leave the field. I wonder if Charlie would leave the lights on all night long. Leave the lights on all night long. Well, I gotta play a gig at the J7 tonight to celebrate, so somebody's got to leave here and go up there. And you're welcome to come to the microphone. I've heard you can sing a pretty good tune. See? If you're ever going to do it, this is it. It gives me great pride to finally catch Coach Oliver. Coach Oliver, Brian, how awesome is this?
This is pretty sweet. I'm so proud of these kids, the way they come out and they played tonight, and all the hard work they put in since this time last year. This is way long overdue for this program. It's great for the community, but most importantly, it's pretty great for all the alumni guys, all those guys that came out tonight and supported these young men, and they really helped us to victory tonight.
Well, in terms of the game itself, another 400 yards rushing. I think you had all 4 of the multi-head monster with 100 yards of rushing. You got to love your offensive line. It was a tough battle tonight. North Vermillion, a tough team, but they responded really well.
Oh, absolutely. I knew they were going to come out with fighting like they did. They're not a team that's going to back down. Keep going. We gave up some big plays. We stopped them once or twice, but it was a semi-state game. It's going to be a great game, and it was tonight. And I'm just so excited for these kids.
Coach Oliver, as a quarterback, as a minor player, as a kid that grew up watching these minor teams on this football field, this has got to be absolutely mind-blowing to you that you are the head coach that puts the minors over the top to get to that state final game.
It's not me. I got one heck of a staff. It's just not me. I'm just a small piece of this puzzle. I got a great staff, a bunch of great young men that come out, and they do everything I ask, coaches and players, and that's what it takes. And we're all in this thing together. We're all in. That's our slogan for this year. And I'm just so proud of the kids, the way they've been doing this.
Well, and they had to face adversity. They had to face, a fumble at the 1-yard line and kind of up 28-7. Did you allow yourself to think 28-7, hey, we're on our way?
No, we knew they were a team of runs. They're going to keep coming back the way they do that. So we just kept on staying, hey, let's keep playing our game. We'll be okay. We gave a defensive breakdown. They got a score there. But you're not going to stop North Vermillion like that. So we knew, hey, we had the lead. We were okay. Just keep playing our game and we'd be all right.
Well, I don't know what else to say except I know you'll be hard at work probably tomorrow. on the nights, but I know I'm not going to worry about that tonight. The Miners have finally got over the hump. First time, 9 tries. A big congratulations to you, Coach. And, hey, we're going to be talking to you next week from Indianapolis.
Sounds great. I appreciate it.
Coach Bryant Oliver of the Linton Miners will send that back up to you, and I will probably, unless I get lucky and find – I hate leaving anybody out, but might head that way eventually.
All right, back up here in the booth. We're going to take our last 60-second break. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. And welcome back to Roy Williams Field. I'm Darren Clayton. Dan Phillips down on the field. He's got some more people to interview. We'll send it down to him.
The last one. I wish I could catch everybody, but I was able to get Zach Figley and Mitch Eberhardt down here. They're both picking grass of Roy Williams. By the way, this is the nicest the field has looked all year.
Oh, yeah. It's the best it's looked in all years.
Zach, I'll start with you. You're a senior leader on this team. You've been playing since you were in a bitty league. How big is this to you?
It's huge. I mean, we've wanted this since we were in 2nd grade, and it's amazing that we could be the first class to do it. It's a shame that we haven't been able to do it in the past, but I'm glad it's our turn.
Mitch, tonight you ran, the last 2 weeks you've run the ball extremely hard. I got to watch a little bit of that YouTube. What'd you call that move?
Like the I don't know, it's like
shoulder or something move, and put a couple of bruising hits. North Vermillion, a pretty quick defense. What kind of things did you have to do on the field to overcome that?
I knew the line had to block good, and I knew I had to run the ball hard, and I just knew we had all come together and play together to win the game tonight.
When you're up 28-0, I know listeners are tired of 28-7. Hear me say this. What goes through your mind at 28-7?
We had to just play hard, and I don't.
Mitch ain't one for words, is he?
Nope. It was 28-7, and we knew the game wasn't over. We had to keep it on them. We knew they weren't going to roll over. We knew they were going to bring the fight back to us. It was a game of possessions, and we wore them down at the end.
At what point did you finally, both of you, feel, my gosh, we're going to get over the hump, we're actually going to get it? I mean, could you feel the crowd? I mean, it was, as an alumni, this is an awesome moment.
I felt it personally when I recovered the fumble at the very end.
I'm glad you cleared that for me because I wasn't sure who got that.
Yeah, that was what I thought personally helped change the game. I knew that then once we got the ball and then we went down and scored, I felt pretty confident that we were going to end up winning.
Mitch, I'm going to ask you the same question. At what point did you feel, hey, I'm Lucas Oil bound? And don't say before the game.
Okay. No, and Coach Jake, we called the timeout, and Coach Jake said if we score this time, it's over. And I took it to the end zone, and I scored, and I just looked, and I was like, it's over.
It's an awesome feeling. You guys have been a great part, a great minor success story. I look forward to talking to you guys in Indianapolis next week.
You too.
You too.
Zach Figley and Mitch Eberhardt and two more singers, and gosh, I hate to leave anybody out there. I see Jacob Clothier, but I don't know that I'm going to get him over here. Oh, heck, I got somebody going to go get him for me. I might as well get him while I'm at it.
Dan continuing to get players down on the
I got to
field.
wait. They're going to take a picture.
Pictures taken, all kinds of stuff going on down on the field.
Well, this is good because now I have all the singers in one place.
So we'll wait for him to get that. Want to say that the Miners will play at noon on Friday after Thanksgiving. So 1 week from today, the championship game of the Class 1A state tournament will be at noon from Lucas Oil Stadium. So 12 o'clock kickoff next Friday. Come support the Miners at Lucas Oil Stadium. For those of you that listen from out of state, we sure appreciate those of you that listen and watch from out of state, and we're glad we're able to bring you the games here on QD 93.3, LintonMiners.com, and produced by Media 5 Sports, and we sure appreciate it.
Well, it got me here because they're doing a senior picture, and it gives me an opportunity to try to catch the last. I know you can't get me on film, but trying to get the last 2 or 3 seniors on this team. Want to make sure and get them mentioned. Taking pictures with the semi-state champion. Boy, I wish they'd give you a big trophy. They should give you a big trophy when you win a semi-state game, regardless of trying to. They make enough money off the game in the state. They ought to do that. Also want to make sure and thank LintonMiners.com. I want to get, where's T, Jacob, easy. I get these 3 guys. Let's step over here, can we? All right. Excellent. Where's T? Get T over here. I gave up trying to call him by his real name. It just don't work anymore. T. Pig, Jacob Collier, and Chad Trent, 3 senior players, been here for 4 years and giving the Miners everything they have. I'll start with you, Chad. Of course, big year for you. Starting quarterback last year. I know that couldn't have been a great thought coming into this season that you're not playing quarterback, but you get to play defense. You get to hit people. Didn't get to do that last year. How satisfying is this for you? Before you say that, I can remember the locker room at Eastern Hancock after we'd lost, and you said, we're going to do it. Our class is going to do it. Here you are. What can you say?
This is the greatest thing in my life. I guarantee that happens in our life so far. And with everything that's happened with getting Tyler getting the spot and just having to accept that, and I just accepted it, and I knew, and it's been fun playing with our defense because our defense is hella good. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we do a hell of a job, and we work our butts off, and just going to state is just the best feeling I could ever, I don't know how to put it in words. It's the best thing.
Well, it's something that none of us as alumni have ever even thought about being able to do. You're the first group to ever do it. That's something that's going to stay with you guys forever. T, tell me about how that's going to make you feel to know 5-6 years from now, your class did it.
It's going to be crazy. I don't know. It's just be the first team to do it. We've been so close, and I've been on 2 teams that were close. For my freshman year, we were the closest. I thought we had it, and then it's just big, and then now we have it, and we're going to state.
Now, you were started on the offensive line as well last year. You moved to the defensive side. Got to enjoy that defensive side of things.
I like the defense a lot better. You get to tackle people and not have to worry about blocks, and it's funner.
Jacob, of course, you the deep threat on the Miners always tonight. You got off to a big start with 55 yards. The catch down here was kind of a stop-and-go type of play?
Yeah, it was just kind of out and up, and Tyler threw a great ball again. Just kept rolling. It's hard for them to stop our run, so it just leaves the pass wide open most of the time, and just really helps the offense out.
How does it make you feel to be a part of the class that's gone over that hump? I mean, you start off this goal at the beginning of the year. You got North Vermillion coming in, who you've already beaten. Did you feel? Of course, you felt more pressure.
It just feels amazing to do it with these guys. We've been playing since, we've been in the same classrooms together since elementary school, and just growing up with them, and just knowing that we could do it together just feels amazing.
Think about this. I heard the rumor during the offseason you may not play. Imagine you standing on the sidelines in street clothes tonight.
It just wouldn't be the same at all.
Chad, outside linebacker, your job was to contain a whole lot tonight. A guy like Earl, a guy like Wright. What kind of job was that like?
They're great. They're the best running back, tandem we'll see all year. And, maybe that we've seen all year because LCC is going to be really good. And it's all I like funneling the play out and then seeing Demo get the big hit. And I don't like when if you don't get a flag. The refs are never on our side. But I do want to say something. We do read you guys on Gridiron, and whoever said the 56-21 score was pretty dang close, and I thought he was crazy. I don't know who it was, but I just want all the people that played before us and all this. This is for you guys just as much as it for us because we work our butts off just for the name on the front of our jersey, and it's just the best feeling for everybody.
Well, it is exactly what every Miner player deserves and hopes it's going to happen. And last thing I want to ask, all right, T. I've said your name many, many different times. I've said it where it's probably had to been X-ratedly taken off. I've told other announcers when they kind of go who and how, and I say you don't even want to try to say it because you could get you in trouble. I want the official, and don't say T because that's what you're going to say. I want the official pronunciation.
Titia Pig.
Titia. All right. Titia. No, that's too close. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, it's just no one really says it. So
I got the whole family history. I got it from your whole family. They sent it to me. I call you T, and then that's all I'm going to do from now on. But next time I call you T, it's going to be from Lucas Oil Field. Tell me how awesome is that?
It's just amazing. There's no words to describe it.
Well, I'll let these guys go. They get to go enjoy. You guys be careful tonight. You got a whole week of practice.
The crowd was big tonight, and we owe it all to them, too, because they helped us out so much. And I hope there's a big crowd in Lucas Oil.
I think the whole town of Linton is going to be at Lucas Oil.
I think the whole town of Linton was on the field after.
I think so. Appreciate you three coming out. Congratulations. Darren, that's probably going to be the last for me down here. Try to get my way up there. I'm sure I could talk all night, but, you've been here a long time too, Darren. We've both been here a long time. You've seen these kids and how hard it works for this program. I do want to thank Keith Dodds for having the whole minor football that he's done now for several years. This is my 16th year doing minor football, and I really didn't know after that Cecina game, honestly didn't know if we would ever get back to this point. And now we are. We've taken that step, and it's going to be so nice to finally, all the naysayers that say, well, Linton never can get to that last game. Linton always can't make it. They fall apart. They can't beat anybody tough. And the schedule strength and all that crap that we always hear about. And just nice to see the Miners come out tonight and get rid of some of that monkey off their back. And now they get to go to, obviously we know Lafayette Central Catholic is, they're really 2 or 3A team playing in 1A. But to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's going to be a huge task. And these kids, if anybody's going to do it, these kids are going to go up there and give them a game.
Very well said there, Dan. He's making his way back up here. He can't hear what I'm saying, and he'll be back up here in the booth real soon. Just a quick recap, 8:53 to go in the first quarter. The Miners take a 7-0 lead. Clothier from Muir, 23 yards out. Wilson adds all the extra points, 9 of them tonight, or 8 of them rather, 8 for 8. 6:52 in the first quarter. North Vermillion ties it back up at 7 apiece. Depew on a 36-yard pass from right. The Miners score again with 58 seconds left in the first quarter. Muir on a 37-yard run puts the Miners back up 14-7. Tyler goes in again from 23 yards out, 8:48 to go in the second quarter, puts the Miners on top 21-7. 5:54 to go in the half. The Miners on a 3-yard run from Muir, 28-7, and things were looking pretty good. And then all of a sudden, for the last 5 minutes, I'll let you take over there, Dan. I've lost my voice.
Well, the last 5 minutes of that first half, the key to that was a 75-yard pass to right up the seam by Earl, and he got down to the 4-yard line. The Miner defense kind of stood up there, got a third down from the 7, and it looked like we had the quarterback Wright sacked. He squirmed loose like a senior leader that he is. He gets in the end zone. They score, and we get the ball up at about the 47, 4th and short. I questioned the call. I got to learn not to do that. We were unable to get that first down. They stop us, and within a couple of minutes after that, it's Earl again from the 9 yards out. The kick was failed, and it was 28-20 at that point. Darren, are you able to breathe yet? No, he's still coughing. And that's where we went into halftime on really a 28-20. Really, North Vermillion had the momentum, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they really did. And then it took about halfway through the third quarter before the Miners were able to finally put points on the board. Took it back up to a 2-score lead, 6:10 to go. Pierce Jackson from 39 yards out, 35-20 for the Miners. But immediately, right back at us, Wright goes 61 yards on a run, makes it 35-27, and you're still thinking to yourself, is this going to be another year where we just can't get the job done? But the Miners answer from there. They get the last 3 scores. Muir from 10 yards out with 9:56 left. Jackson again with 8:23 left from 15 out. Eberhardt finishes it off. 4:48 to go from 23 yards out. The Miners head to Lucas Oil Stadium, 56-27. Winners tonight over North Vermillion. And once again, want to mention the game will be at noon next week from
early.
Lucas Oil Stadium, 11:30 airtime, and we'll be there to bring you all that action from Lucas Oil Stadium next week as the Miners try for that state championship.
It's hard to believe we're actually saying that, and I don't know if you got to the player of the game yet, but
I have not. Star of the game. It is time to announce tonight's REMC star of the game, and Dan, I've got a suggestion.
Let's hear it.
Linton Minor football team is tonight's star of the game.
I like that. You can't ask for much more. The four-headed monster was there. The line was there. The defense did the job. We had the turnover game on our side. Yeah, if it's allowed to do.
I mean, how can you not? I mean, this is the team that gets us over the hump, gets us to that state championship game. So congratulations to the Linton Minor football team, tonight's stars of the game. And for being named the stars of the game, REMC is pleased to donate $50 to the Linton Athletic Department. That's the Utilities District of Western Indiana, REMC, a strong supporter of local and area high school sports. Well, that's going to do it from here at Roy Williams Field. A very happy Dan Phillips, a very happy Darren Clayton. If you get a chance, go listen to Big D play at J7 tonight. Celebrate this minor victory. Want to thank, got to remember who was working with us. We went on the air a long time ago. Yeah. Thanks Sarah back at the station for all of her help tonight. And on behalf of Dan Phillips, I'm Darren Clayton saying good night and have a great day tomorrow.